Goddamn Rubik's Cube sucks ass. Wait a minute. Fuck this. I got trick-or-treaters, baby. Happy. Hi. Would you like some candy? What would you like? Thanks. Happy Halloween. I don't even know what the hell that was. What the hell is it now? Please, God, let it not get any more weirder.
Just want to be your friend to the end.
Very fucking funny.
Yeah, I know I'm the man. We all know that. I heard of finger food, but this is ridiculous.
Hardy fucking har. So, now that you've come to annoy me yet again, what exactly are you here for?
But I'm really here for. Whoa. Wow, I beat this like 3 or 4 times or so, but some asshole visited me, but fuck him. But what I'm really here for is to recommend some movies.
Recommend movies? Are we really back to this? Dude, I thought I was the expert.
Expert? You don't look like an expert to me.
What, are you kidding me? Dude, I think I've proven myself a time or two. Hello?
Prove yourself. You can't prove yourself unless you hang with the big boys and you're looking at them.
Big boy? You haven't seen nothing yet. I'm the big boy, mofo. Dude, where the hell did you come from?
In your dreams.
Yeah, more like my nightmares. Dude, can you believe this shit?
I do believe it. He's outside his nightmares.
Yeah, well, sweater-loving weirdo.
That's okay.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
I think it's fake.
Me too,
Give it
but...
a shot.
Yeah, I ain't gonna try with shit. Hell no. Guys, I don't know what's going on here. I got one weirdo with butter knives. I got a wisecracking jackass who loves Chucky and likes to stab people. I don't know what's going on here, folks. Hell if I know. But you want to know what? I think this can only mean one thing, that
We'll be back?
with another horror movie playlist part 4?
Yes.
Right, Freddy?
You coming back, Freddy?
You know. Sure. Get ready, everybody, for Halloween Horror Movie Playlist.
Number 4.
Come in. Are you looking for Peter Pumpkin Eater? Turns out he had that whole thing backwards, and he was crunchy too.
Where'd you find this?
I just scored that Johnny boy.
Not yet. yet.
Well, you're gonna be, because the last time they messed with me.
I don't know where you got that from. Any idea?
One of my movies is about the
I'm good, sir.
Oh, yeah, baby.
The chalice. You drink out of it
upside
too?
down challenge.
It's a deadly motherfucker. Oh, indeed it is, guys. Welcome to, wait for it, the Halloween horror movie playlist part 4.
That's scary, dude. You know who you are. You know where you live.
You know, it's like other people.
He's the Joker.
You gotta put the brain
Very sure. Yeah. Hey, whatever you're into. Whatever you like.
Oh, baby. We are back yet again. Now, look.
Yes.
The last person that messed with me, yes, I took their brain. But honestly, you want to know what else I took?
Ugh.
Your heart.
I took the leg.
Oh,
Your foot.
your foot.
It's a foot.
Well, yeah, but I
The
also
leg's
took
somewhere else.
I took yet another hand. Look at this.
So he took the elbow.
You
took the elbow.
That's the only hit you're gonna get all night.
Nah, he's dead. Screw him. Ready? Damn, he's
Oh
alive.
my god. Man, I thought the hand was fucking dead. Oh shit.
It is. He's
Guys.
He's just acting.
Oh, dude. We are back.
Yeah, we are.
Better than ever, baby, for part 4. We did it 3 other times, but guess what? We couldn't stay away. We needed one more goddamn time. We did. Don't you think? Because horror is that damn good. We can't stay
We'll
away.
go on forever.
Oh, we could go on forever, man. We honestly could, guys. So, here's the deal. Just like the last ones, and if you haven't seen the other 3 Halloween horror movie playlists, I will put a link down below so you guys can check them out. We pick, each of us, 10 horror films. The first to start the night off, and the last
Maybe.
one to end it all off. Everything in between, and we
Well,
do not, by the way,
Yeah.
we do not pick anything that we had in the last ones.
Correct.
So whatever Van picked in the last 3, he can't pick this time around. The same as John, same
Yeah.
as me, etc., etc. Did it make it easier? Did it make it harder this time?
I thought it was easy.
For me, it was easier
It was easier.
Yeah, well,
because of the time difference.
Okay. For you, John?
no, it was easier.
It was easier. For me, I had a struggle with it. I'm not gonna lie, man. I had a major struggle with it. I was taking things out. I was putting them back in. I was mixing them around. It took me a while to sort of narrow
Yeah.
it down, but that's because there's so much great horror out there
Yeah.
that to narrow down to just 10 is practically impossible, but that's why this is as fun as it is.
Yeah.
And so...
The theme, I don't think I went by it, but I tried. It's horror, but
Yeah.
as far as starting the night out, because my last one, the one at the finale is definitely not going to be that night.
Okay.
So
I'm always curious as to what this man
Okay.
has,
Okay.
as
Yeah.
I am with Van. Speaking of which, sir, how about you start us off with
Yes.
your number 10?
Number 10.
Uh-oh.
First of all, I want to say that
Oh, yeah.
all the movies that I have that I'm sharing with you today are B movies. And B movies, the golden age of B movies
Okay.
was during the 1950s. Okay? So every single movie I have is from the 1950s. They're all in black and white. And
Damn, I guess it is a theme.
they're the ones that got me interested in horror, and throughout the years maintained that interest. So number 10, this movie
This will be good.
is considered one of the worst movies of all time. So why not start with the worst and hopefully progressively get better? And that is Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Outer Space, yes.
Okay.
Ed Wood.
Ed Wood is well, I won't call him a director because I'm not sure he knew anything about directing. But the premise of the movie is that the scientists on Earth are messing around with a chemical that could cause explosions that could destroy the entire universe.
That's not
So
good.
the people in outer space said, no, we don't want that to happen. So
nice.
they send their saucers to Earth, all three of them held by strings that you can clearly see, to resurrect the dead and use them as an army to march on the important cities of the nation.
That's a brilliant plan.
And,
Kind of love it.
convince them that this is not a good thing to do.
Well, the problem is that's plan 9.
Well, the first eight
Plan
failed.
flawed.
The first 8 to conquer the Earth failed.
Failed,
So
okay.
we're on number 9. right
Number
now.
9.
Yeah. So,
All the plans.
just pointing out some of the things that kind of make this. It's definitely a cult movie. There are people out there
Yes, it is.
that love this.
Yes.
But some of the things that make it very interesting is that it's advertised as being Bela Lugosi's last movie, which is very misleading because he was dead before this movie was even started to be
Did
filmed.
they prop his corpse up in it?
No, what they did
Oh,
was they
okay.
had some stock footage, silent stock footage, of him that was going to be used in other movies by the director. So they took that footage and just kind of threw it in. And they came up with a body double, which looked nothing like Bela Lugosi. Kept his cape for who knows whatever reasons. And the body double had to keep the cape up around his mouth
So you don't see it.
so that you didn't know who it was. Another character in the
quite.
movie is Vampira.
Vampira.
Vampira, yes.
Vampira, okay?
Yeah.
And she looks like a vampire. And in the movie,
Yes.
she is the wife of Bela Lugosi's character.
Yes, and the wrestler Tor Johnson,
Yes.
who played the detective,
Yes.
and then he ended up turning it into a zombie.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's just so many things. The uniforms, the costumes that the space people wear look like skaters' tutus with little skirts. Actually, the person that did the special effects and makeup quit the movie, did not want his name on the movie because Ed Wood didn't want to use any of his ideas. So,
Oh, well. Shit happens.
other things like there's a cemetery scene, and crosses that they used had a tendency to fall over as people walked by. Also, the styrofoam or whatever they used to make the gravestones kind of wavered back and forth. It's just, and I got to tell you one more because I can't believe this one. There are guns in the movie. Some of the actors decided to play a joke on Ed Wood. So there were times during the movie where instead of pointing the gun at whomever, okay, they pointed it at themselves, okay? And this occurred numerous times during the movie, and the whole purpose was to play a joke on the director. Okay.
Very interesting.
There's a scene early in the movie where there's a pilot, and before the editing was done, the pilot is shown with a script on his lap, and he's reading that script, and fortunately that was taken out before the final cut. Shadows of microphones. It's endless. It is totally
That's why
endless.
it's B.
What I would say is that, is it the worst movie ever? I don't think it is. You do, but
Wait, you didn't see what we saw a couple weeks ago.
That's
so.
true.
let me tell you something. That I feel like I've seen so much bad shit in recent memory that
Yeah.
I kind of look at least with Plan 9, it has a certain amount of charm to it that I can go with. Yes, maybe not the best charm, but it has something. But to say it's the worst, I think is slightly overdoing it. But that being said, it ain't no winner either. So,
True.
And if you remember who else was in here, is Criswell. Criswell, who was on the Tonight Show at times, who made wild predictions. Insane stuff about the future. He is in Plan 9 as well. A bunch of the Ed Wood troupe, so to speak. So yes.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And being a Plan B movie, which basically says it was usually paired with a better, quote, better movie, and this is the one that was often these type of movies were often matched up with a better type of movie. And it just it started back in the 30s and 40s with westerns and action and some war movies and stuff. And during the 50s, that's when horror and sci-fi took over. And I think you're going to be surprised by some of the titles that I pull out. But this is number 10.
And honestly, it can't get any better than Plan 9. It can't get any worse.
Okay.
That being said, John, what do you got, brother?
Oh, I got a headache after that one, though.
What do you got, man?
I have something that I've never seen this before until we did this.
All right.
I can't remember if it was the last time, the time before that.
Okay.
And you had it.
All right. Oh.
And it sounded interesting, and then I went and bought it.
Okay.
And it was freaking amazing.
I was the one that influenced you. Wow.
Okay.
Oh, you never influenced me. You just had it in your hand.
Okay.
It is The Mist.
Oh, The Mist.
The Mist, because
wow.
when he talked about it,
I
ordered on. I went straight to order from Amazon.
Okay. Yeah.
And the ending, you shit your pants.
The ending is dark.
It's ferocious.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Man.
And
totally unexpected.
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I like. Good endings. And damn.
It subverts your expectations.
Yes.
I think the whole movie.
I think
does
this has
that.
the black. I wonder if this has the black and white.
Yes, this one does have the black and
Okay.
white too. Yes.
And basically, it's about a small town in Maine. There was a storm, and then there's this couple and a young kid. They live on the water, by the water, and they go into town, but the mom stays back.
Yeah, and there's like this billowing fog.
Yeah, the fog is kind of after the storm, and the father and his son have to stay in the grocery store with a bunch of people, and all of a sudden, these creatures come out of the fog and kind of like you keep them in there. They can't leave because they start killing people off kind of one by one, and of course. All the people in there have to go against each other. Well, not go against each other, but kind of factions break off.
Yep.
You got your religious,
religious
lady
ones.
who's a whack job that, cuts the people in half here, half there.
Yes.
While they're trying to survive, this is what we do, I guess. Instead of helping each other.
I think
what I
love about it personally is the idea of what happens when you are in a survival instinct of okay, it's not necessarily us versus them, it's more me versus everybody else.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. Yeah. Honestly,
it's stupid, but it's also brilliant at the same time of talking about society and how we can just break down so easily.
What's funny about it is that I think that movie reflects what's going on.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? No one wants to help each other.
I agree.
You got the one lady who's a whack job wants to kill him, and everybody's Satan or something like that. She was saying, something like that.
Absolutely.
And the creatures were getting, they're picking people off here and there, and then they started. A couple of people or so wanted to just make a run for it.
Right.
And some military guys ran in there to protect themselves, and they were talking to each other.
Yeah. And
saying what kind of happened, where they came from, of course, the government secrets, and they made a break for it. Some didn't survive.
Yeah, it's just
So
crazy. And
yes.
I love the designs of the creatures.
Yep.
I
Everything
also
about it's fantastic.
just really love the mystery aspect of it. The idea that,
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, where exactly did the creatures come from? Where exactly happened? You
Well,
don't need to know everything
you know,
about that.
You kind of and you kind of don't.
But you don't need it wrapped up all.
I
in a nice
was
little
just
package.
kind of guessing.
But it's nice to have a nice
Yeah.
little mystery.
was-
But it's more about the survival instincts of human beings.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
thought that was
absolutely,
fantastic
absolutely.
about it.
But everybody wants to know where these things came from.
Sure,
You
absolutely.
know, and I think it was it was a military project.
It was.
Was
yes.
it another dimension or something they came from? And you know, of course, the father that left his wife behind, had their son. They wanted to make a break, and they got a car. They wanted to get out of there, and
Well, we won't say what.
we're not going to say what happens,
but
but it's very shocking ending,
Yeah.
and I loved it. And,
Absolutely.
and my jaw hit the ground, and it was pretty awesome.
Yep.
Pretty awesome. So
very awesome indeed.
it is
Your
the Mist.
Number 10. Wow,
10.
very nice. Not as good as Plan 9, but you know.
I don't give a shit, honestly. It's what I watch.
Plan 9 though. Oh, for me, well, I've got my little horror bag. Oh yeah, look at that. With
say
all
something?
kinds
I
of
don't
goodies
think so.
in there. Oh, is it very mischievous. But what is the
Maybe,
number,
let's see what it is.
number 10? Where do I start the night off? Number 10 for a horror movie playlist. Well, sometimes you got to give it up for the horror hosts. And
Horror what?
the horror hosts. And for this
Okay.
chick, oh, she's definitely got the goods. And that is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Oh, yes. Oh, look at this, baby. Oh, man.
Wow.
So, man, you know, I was young when Elvira was really big, but I sort of attached myself to her as I got older as a horror fan.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people did. She had such wonderful personality, still does to this day. And, of course, the dress didn't hurt either.
No.
No, didn't hurt either. And she became so big of a horror host. And this rarely happens. The idea that she gets her own movie.
Yep.
And out of all the horror hosts, I mean, yes, you could say Vampira, obviously in Plan 9, but she's not the star of it.
No.
Elvira is the star of this, and she is absolutely great here. I think, like, one of her, like, relatives dies, and she inherits his house, and she's
Yeah.
got to go to the town, and the town is
Small
all
town.
very small town, and it's
Yeah.
all, like, very prim and proper, and
Yeah,
they're
once
wearing
they-
their, you know,
Once
like,
they saw her.
and she comes in with the big friggin' knockers and the
Uh-huh.
black dress and the hair, and they're like, what the hell is this?
Is that what they said?
And yeah, well, something close to that. And she has her little dog with her and everything, and she's just having a ball with this movie. Everyone is playing it up for the best laughs possible. It's not meant to be taken seriously, but at the same time, it's got some cool horror elements in there. You can see that Elvira is obviously a fan of the genre. She loves it. It's campy, it's ridiculous, it's over the top, but it's pure fun, and it's a really great way to start out the Halloween season. Oh, indeed it is, man. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Oh, indeed. Man,
Wow.
Yeah.
you're number 9.
No, I was just waking up.
Oh,
Whoa.
are you kidding me?
That was
Are
pretty
you
short,
kidding
man.
me?
That Plan 9 thing, I was timing it.
Oh,
That
come
was about 10
on,
minutes.
man.
Did I go over the schedule?
You're really gonna deny that?
No.
You see that?
Really gonna deny
No.
that? Come on,
That's,
come
I
on,
think
man.
you know.
Get back
Oh.
your ass to real.
Enjoy.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
All right, number 9.
We're not.
Again, a movie that I remember getting my attention, you know, as a child. And not a great movie by any means, but it happens to fall into the category of being a B movie, which oftentimes does not include a well-known actor. Thank you. Special effects are crazy. lines are funny when they're not meant to be. Okay, the thing that couldn't die.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay,
Huh.
basically what this is is about a woman who can find water using the dowsing rods. For those of you who know what those are.
Things like that, right?
And she's on her family's ranch, and she is using these rods, and she thinks she finds a source for water. Turns out that it's not an underwater stream, but a chest dating back over 400 years. Okay, and they're all excited because it's old. It could be worth a lot of money. So they dig it up, and they don't open it right away. They kind of wait, and there's some farmhands that don't want to wait because they think there could be a treasure of some sort in this chest. So when the other people are not around, they proceed to open this up, and they find that it is a head of a character. I'm trying to get his name here. Who was basically a pirate, but he was also known as a person that dwelt in devil worship. In fact, he was brought up on charges of that, and this is how he lost his head.
Devil worship, don't they all?
Yeah.
In jail for that?
Yeah, well, I think so. But anyway, so
Freedom anywhere.
he was decapitated. His head was buried in a box in one location. His body was buried in a coffin in another location. And the curse, so to speak, will last until the two are rejoined. Okay? So, because he dwelled in the dark arts, he has this power over people. He's able to command them to do his bidding, even though his head is cut off.
That's powerful.
And he doesn't talk. He just moves his lips. And he uses one of the ranch hands. I told you it was a B movie. He uses one of the ranch hands
I believe it.
as his henchman.
Oh my God. Okay.
And he's basically carried around for most of the movie like this.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Okay.
So, the thing that couldn't die
It's a cool cover.
could
It
actually
could actually die.
die. Yeah. Again.
Oh, yeah.
So I won't tell you how, but and another thing with these B movies is there's always beautiful women. There's always not always, but usually a love interest.
Yes.
You know, you got your hero and your heroine. Okay, and a lot of times these are the last two people to survive the movie.
So the head doesn't get with the beautiful chick?
Well, the head, no.
Oh,
The head, I will say
You
that the
would.
head is reunited with its body for a short period of time, but I won't tell you what happens after that. But like I said, it's a movie that I remember as a kid, and it certainly doesn't have the same impact now, but
No.
I put it in my list at number 9.
At number 9. Okay, nice. Something you don't always hear about.
Nope.
Heads that are trying to come back to life. Oh, man. Well,
Wow.
from one head to...
Careful.
Yeah, well, sir.
Alrighty.
Number
My
9.
number 9 is...
9.
Okay. Is Shaun of the Dead.
Ooh! Whoa.
Shaun of the Dead. This is hilarious.
Wow. Oh, I love that. That's a beautiful.
It is. And I love zombie movies.
Mhm.
So
You don't say.
I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
do like very good ones.
Okay.
You know, this is a comedy. I laughed my ass off, and starts out with Sean.
Yeah, Simon Pegg.
And his life's kind of slipping here and there.
He's having a terrible
He's
time.
having a terrible time.
Terrible time.
He lives with his friend Ed,
Yes, and
who is hilarious.
and his girlfriend
His
The-
girlfriend is kind of like, come on, Sean,
Kinda-
let's get it together.
kind of trying to break up with him or
Yeah,
something.
he's trying to break, because he's
Yeah.
not. He works at a I don't know what it is.
Like a dead-end job.
Like a dead end selling TVs and stuff.
Yeah, it's or some bullshit
And
like that. And his parents are just, you know,
yes,
onto that. It's just,
exactly. His life is just messed up.
Yeah.
And boy, does it get even more messed up. All of a sudden, zombies show up. And
That's all he needs.
Absolutely.
and so they just go on an adventure.
I love the zombie effects in
Yes,
here.
that's what I
think the zombie effects are great. I think the characters are really funny. The situations, like I love when they're outside the bar before it really starts, and they're sort of drunk, and they see this person that they think is just a dead drunk, but it's actually a zombie, and they're like the zombie like, and they're like,
and they pick up his mom and dad, and oh my lord.
It's just one funny thing.
It's just one thing after another. Like I said, I'm not going to give too much away, but that's what it basically is. It's the survival of the comedy.
I know.
And first time I saw it, I can't remember, someone let me use it. I don't remember who it was, but I had to go buy it. So, as always.
So good.
So, Shaun of the Dead is my number 9.
Number 9. What a beautiful relief that sucker.
I got that. That's zombie.
Oh, good old zombie.
I just had the 4K, but I saw that and I go, whoa.
Yeah, you got to pick that up.
Because that's not an outside thing there. That connects. Which is kind of cool.
That's so good.
So
number 9. That's not a bad number 9. No. Not sure it beats Plan 9, but
yes, it does.
Plan
9 hours.
Oh. Well, Shaun of the Dead technically is Plan 10, but whatever. So, my number 9.
Oh.
My number 9. Oh, that had some good stuff so far, but
very animated, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, you had zombies, you had heads that just wouldn't fucking die. But sometimes you gotta battle insects. Insects that are so fucking big that you're just like, God damn, man, a can of Raid ain't gonna do this any damn good. And that is ticks. Oh, yes, ticks. Oh, look at that.
Big
Motherfuckers right there. Oh, yes, and on the back, I love it. Infested! Oh, ticks, man. I love this movie, man. Have you guys ever seen Ticks?
I have not. I heard of it, but
it is so good. It is cheesy. It is ridiculous. But it is so damn fun and so damn entertaining. Basically, it's about these sort of young teen misfits, and they go on this sort of camping retreat. And while they're in the camping retreat, well, what so happens that there happens to be an infestation of these giant frickin' insects that are literally all around them, and it's either kill or be killed, survival, and somehow maybe try to find a can of bug spray if you got it. I mean, maybe.
I'm sure they sell them.
Kind of something. Something tells me the pesticide ain't working either. Something tells me it's not, man. Look. This is great. I love the effects here. The insects with the bladders and all the goo. And it's just so great, man. And when they bite into you, well, you kind of see
big
what
pimples.
The result. Well, it was a hell of a lot more than that.
It looks like from here. I can't see in the dark.
A hell of a lot more than that, man. But it is so good. So wonderfully cheesy and ridiculous.
What year is that from?
Oh, this is from I believe the 90s. If not the 90s, then the early 2000s. It's even got Seth Green in here, a young Seth Green at that. Man.
Wow!
It's got some really great character actors. Even the guy who played Carlton on Fresh Prince is in here, man.
Are you serious?
Dead serious, man. Dead serious. It is so great and well worth watching. You could call this a B movie too, a modern day B movie.
Yeah.
But still, some great B movie cheese. Oh, well, I'll take this over a can of Raid any day of the week. You know what I'm saying?
They still sell this? Is it sold out?
Well, you're just gonna have to go and find out.
I'm just curious. I'm not gonna go and find out. There you go, right there, huh?
Van, your number 8, Sarah. What is your number 8? All the bag of goodies, plans, weird heads. What's next here?
Well, we all know that it's going to be another B movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And again,
Again.
this is a movie that when I first saw it, we would our friends would get together afterwards outside, playing whatever, and they're going, "Wow, that part was pretty cool, wasn't it?" And when I watched it the other day, I went, "Boy, this part was pretty stupid, wasn't it?" But anyway, I picked it anyway.
Okay.
It's called The Brain from Planet Eros.
Wow, man, that
Okay.
is a deep cut, man.
That's a deep cut.
Woo!
Yeah. And
That hurt.
basically, it's about, I guess you'd call it somewhat of an invasion. There's two brains. There's a good brain and there's a bad brain.
Okay.
Bad
Okay.
brains.
The bad brain is gore, and the good brain is Vol. Okay. And I don't think. Well, I don't know. They're close.
Sex
They're
brain.
close, yeah. So anyway, one of the actors in this movie made a living out of appearing in B movies, and that would be John Agar.
Oh,
It's
yes.
cheaper to live then, huh?
Yeah.
My God.
Oh yeah.
Let's go
yeah.
back.
And again, there's a love interest. There's a beautiful woman, and like I said earlier, it happens in every single one of these movies. Okay, it's
Every
just-
movie we have,
you
probably.
you have to have that characteristic in your movie.
Yes.
Okay. So there's two brains. Okay. One escapes from its planet to attempt to take over the Earth using mind control.
Ooh.
Okay.
I was thinking that.
And what happens was it actually goes into John Agar's character. Okay. And he does not become a nice person once the evil brain is taking him over.
Okay.
And he seems to also have this power where he can look at a plane in the air and just the plane explodes.
That's
Ooh,
powerful.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Now that's a
You
special
can't beat
effect to
that.
it.
No.
You can't beat it.
So, so the good brain
Okay.
has to find a place that is not going to be it's going to be less conspicuous, so that no one's is aware of his presence. Okay.
All right.
Family dog. Okay. He goes into the family dog, and from there he's able to observe what's taking place,
Okay.
and in a matter of speaking, protect the people that are around him. Okay.
Okay.
It's a doozy.
Yeah, it sounds it.
Well, it's a good shot.
It's
Chance
all
it
part
is.
of the atomic age, which was in the 50s, late 50s, part of your Cold War, if you will. The concern that we were going to be if we went into outer space exploring, it might not be a good thing, and at the same time we may be destroying ourselves with the advent of the atomic age. Oh, they even mentioned Ed Wood, so right there that
You know it's a winner, baby.
it doesn't have a lot
I
going
think
for
I've
it.
heard of this movie. I don't
But-
know where, but
They do find a weakness
Okay.
for the evil brain, and
Alright,
the evil brain gets what it deserves at the end of the movie, and
A new
the
brain.
Earth is saved from
Thank God.
from the mind control.
I need to-
Basically, they look like balloons, but they're kind of decorated. They're kind of cool.
Okay.
Okay,
so
I mean they
there's
do
that.
actually look like the picture on the cover.
Picture brain. Okay.
And however, when they are being attacked, they kind of squeal. So I won't get into that part of it.
yeah, that does.
And one other aspect of it,
Okay.
the evil brain kind of enjoys John Agar's girlfriend,
Oh.
and some of the feelings that come out while this brain is in John Agar's body, it wants more, and
Okay.
so
Well, I can't wait
it
to
gets
see
a
that
little pushy, and tries to take advantage of,
Oh,
of
I
his
see.
girlfriend.
Okay.
So
there you go.
just because it's from outer space doesn't mean
You still
you
have
know.
to have manners.
yeah, true.
Saying.
Yep. So anyway, number 8, brain from the planet Eros.
Ooh,
Eros.
okay, from
Yep.
the planet Eros.
Yep.
Well,
Eros.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, from the planet Eros to your number 8. Oh God,
Alrighty.
what the hell you got?
Jeez.
Sorry,
That's like being
okay,
positive.
We're not going anywhere.
okay, I know.
But if you get caught by this guy,
Uh-oh.
you will be going to be a slave
Oh,
on another
okay.
planet from
There
the
you
tall
go.
man.
Oh,
Phantasm. You keep your shit up, he's gonna fill you full of shit and send you to his planet, okay?
Oh wow,
And the silver
man, that's
orb.
Some kind of yellow gunk or
Yeah.
something like yellow gunk
really
goo or
nasty
something.
shit, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Phantasm is number 8.
Oh,
I
love-
haven't seen this in years.
Oh, so good.
So I just said, you know what? Just let me buy it, and wow, the hell was I thinking back then? No, not that I like it, but I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is awesome. Basically,
It's about Mike.
Mike, people kind of been dying, and there's a guy that runs a mortuary, or is it like it's a mortuary?
Well,
It's like a great
it's like a gravesite, moratorium.
Moratorium, yeah.
Moratorium.
And the tall man they call him.
Yes.
Oh, great character.
Angus Scrum.
Angus Scrim, baby.
Scrim, excuse me, yes.
Mm.
So they're taking people. He's got these little druids that are helping him, and basically I'm not gonna give it away.
No.
He's making people into slaves, basically.
That
So
happens a lot.
and
It
an
does.
old
God
yep.
damn, that's all their plans now.
There's an older brother and a younger brother, and of course the younger brother doesn't listen. Stay away, and he wants to get in there and see what's going on. And
Their
there's
friend
Reggie,
who drives the
yeah,
ice cream
yeah,
truck.
he drives the ice
Yes.
cream truck.
Yes.
Comes and helps out, and there's a lot of killing, and
I love this fucking movie.
this is a great movie. I'm slowly but surely watching the other ones because I didn't see the other ones growing up, and I only watched about half of it. I'm gonna finish it, but this is where I start out, and wow, this is awesome.
And can I say that, at least
can.
to me, the tall man is a very underrated.
Very much
Oh,
so. He's
definitely.
very intimidating.
He's so great.
Yeah.
Yup, he's
Just his presence alone.
very.
It's almost like, I would say almost like if you're thinking of like a Boris Karloff or like something like that, the horror presence that he has just
Yep.
being on screen.
And his wall.
Like Lurch.
Yes.
Lurch comes across.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, just
Yeah,
big,
just he's-
imposing. I mean,
Yes,
yes,
and he's
absolutely.
just doing some damage, and he's just
Boy.
he's just
Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
And he gets
So,
in your
yeah.
mind. He has a little he has a lot of everybody's mind. That's where I think he's very powerful.
And the silver sphere.
The silver. Oh my God! The
Oh,
silver
the
spear
silver
which just like
spear, yep.
attaches right to your head and
Yep. It's got you out, and he fills you full of. I don't
Talk
want to go
about
anymore. You know what I
lobotomy.
mean? I don't want to give much away. So
True.
But what I also love about this movie is that you can have an argument that the movie is just one crazy wild dream or nightmare.
yeah, so you don't know
You
if you're
just
dreaming
don't
or not.
know.
That's the thing.
You have no idea, and I love the way that Don Coscarelli shot the movie and how the
Yep.
actors played it. It's just so fucking good, man.
It's
so
excellent,
good.
and I don't know why I waited this long, because the simple fact that I have about 1,000 movies to watch, and I just haven't got a chance, and I love it. It's a great movie. So number 8 is
Number 8.
Phantasm.
Them. Yeah. You're number 8. Oh, from evil brains that get laid to
2
I
for
didn't
2.
say that.
that
Brains 2 for 2. Kind
Yeah.
of.
old
I got another one coming.
old men that are creeping on young kids.
Yeah.
What the hell?
2.
What are you watching?
I suppose it only makes sense that we go with a little bit of the stuff. Oh yes, the stuff.
I've
you
seen
guys,
that.
yes. You've
Never
never
seen it.
seen the stuff?
No.
Oh my
You have
god!
not seen the
I
stuff?
can't
No,
believe
that's
it.
any stuff. No.
You're kidding me.
Wow.
Why not?
Well, I haven't either. What's it about?
What's it? Yeah.
The stuff. So this is one of those B movies, cheapos from the 1980s. But then again, the 80s are fucking amazing. So
Yes,
you know,
they are.
even the cheesy shit is fucking amazing. And the idea that these people, corporation, it finds this white substance, this white goo, and they find it underground. They don't know whether it was just there all the time or whether it's an alien entity. They just don't really know. But what the corporation decides is, well, it actually kind of tastes good, so we're gonna package it up and sell it to millions of people across the world in grocery stores. And so
Wow.
And
Wow.
they call it the stuff.
the stuff. And
Wow.
and what ends up happening is that people get hooked on this stuff. It's like a drug to them. They just need more of it, man, and they just buy it ad nauseum. And there's this little kid that refuses to buy it, refuses to eat it. He just does not want anything to do with this. And the parents are like, "You need to eat the stuff. It's good for you," and everything.
Oh,
and,
man.
And so along with this one guy who is trying to expose the company, they are trying to find out how to destroy the stuff. And all the crazy, weird, and horrific hijinks that go along with it. It is
Jinkies.
really, really well done. I love the effect of the stuff itself and how it almost looks like marshmallow or tapioca pudding or something like that. And the idea that once you end up realizing what it can really do and what it is, what ends up happening is that it starts to move and starts to transform itself and uses the people that has consumed the stuff into willing zombies for it.
Damn zombies.
That makes
Get in there.
sense.
Yes, and so it is so good. I love this movie so much. Are you eating it, or is it eating you?
Kind of both, actually.
Yeah.
It's really well done, and it says so much about stuff like consumerism, what we put into our bodies. It's so great, and it really reminds me of a lot of stuff like The Blob, old school 1950s or 60s B movies from back in the day. It feels like it's an homage to that. It's really wonderful, really fantastic, and honestly, if you ever see it in your supermarket, run for your fucking life.
Probably won't, but
damn
it just
sure.
sounded good
Run
for the stuff.
Gotcha.
the stuff. Oh yeah, number 8. But enough of the stuff, man.
Oh, yes.
You okay?
Yeah.
No, you're number 7.
Number 7 already. Geez, time flies.
I know it does.
Yeah.
Sometimes B movies are actually, and pardon the
Oh, yep.
terminology,
Grab the B.
but
B.
they are ripoffs of other movies that have been successful.
Yes.
And this is one of those
No,
movies.
no, stop it.
This is called
Can you
The
pronounce that?
Monster of Pedro Blancas.
What the hell?
Okay. Now, if you see the picture,
Okay.
actually, this is not the best
Yeah.
picture,
No.
but you
The
can
best
kind of
movie.
see a little bit on the back there. I think that got my attention as a kid was that this creature is standing there with someone's head in its arms, and
Okay.
I just went, "Wow, this has got to be cool."
Okay.
And can you guess what movie it rips off by looking at it?
Let me see. Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Exactly.
Okay, that was
Which
from
had
one
come
shot.
out 5 years before, prior to this.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Not as good, in my opinion, as the Creature from the Black
Sure,
Lagoon,
of course.
We believe you.
which is a
Yeah.
classic. Okay.
All right.
The creature doesn't look too bad. It's big. It's hulking. It's menacing. Okay. It does kill people by decapitating them
Yeah.
and leaving the heads
I like
laying around. It's a little more gory than what you would expect from a movie from the 50s. But again, I think that was something else that attracted our attention when we first saw this.
Sure.
Another thing that happens in B movies is things are shared. The feet of this creature are the same feet used by the mutant in this island Earth.
Oh, wow, really? Okay.
The claws, and it has rather long claws, are the same claws used by the mole people.
Ah.
Oh!
Okay?
Okay.
I heard of both of them.
So, in order to control budget, if you will, this happened a lot.
Please, can we use your feet and hands over
Yeah,
here?
exactly.
Studio A over here?
Yeah, yeah. And, it could be a set, it could be, part of the uniform, could be the costume. You never know. But that was just another way they had to control the budget.
Sure.
They only had so much money to work with, and if they couldn't do it, then they had to improvise.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
So anyway, this movie goes. This monster goes on a rampage, and basically the villagers are even feeding it, hoping that it'll keep the creature away from the village itself.
Okay.
As long as it realizes it has a food source. It doesn't work. Okay.
well,
and
You want something different.
never
Sick of the
does,
same
man.
shit over and over again.
Yeah. The only
No?
the only thing is, and this is true of a lot of B movies that have some sort of creature in it. Sometimes you go long periods of time without seeing the creature.
Yes.
The movie starts out with this claw coming up over
Okay.
these rocks.
Right.
Okay, cool. All right,
Shit
good
like
start. 40 minutes later, you finally get to see.
that. Damn.
The whole
How long
creature.
is the movie? 60?
Yeah, because a lot of these
Like,
B,
Oh my God.
a lot of these B movies were 70 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, so I would
It's
say
okay. It just...
there might be like 15 minutes left to the movie when you actually see the whole creature.
Creature.
Okay,
Okay.
so it's the creature. Like I said, it's not bad. It has a predictable ending. Has your normal weird conversations, or you're asking yourself, why did they do that? Why did they do that? But again, because of the decapitations and the blood, it got my attention as a kid. And the movie that was matched up with it, okay,
Yes.
because that's what happens with B movies,
There you go.
was Okefenokee.
Fizz.
Okay, so
Pops.
it's definitely not a horror movie,
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
but just to show you, you never know.
Okay.
But
Wow.
the monster of Pedro Blancas
Okay.
takes
Hey.
place in a lighthouse, which still exists today. By
Holy
the way.
shit. Okay, cool. Shit, man. The stuff you never knew you wanted to check out. John,
This monster.
from one monster to...
Yeah, well,
You have another monster?
I think he's a monster.
Okay.
Controversial movie.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
like
I
Those.
think he would take your monster of Pedro Brantes and rip him a new ass.
Okay.
But this seriously, this is a controversial movie,
Okay.
and I didn't care when I picked it because the movie's great.
Okay.
We all love it.
I
At least
hear
I
it.
think so. So this is Peepers.
Oh, Jeepers
Jeepers Creepers.
Creepers.
First one.
Oh,
Jeepers
See what I mean by controversial? We won't get into that, but anyway.
by far the best one.
Yes, by far the best one. So I'll get your monster a Blanco or whatever, and so he might. So
And rip its half and shit down its neck.
yep, I remember seeing the trailer for this. Seeing the
remember
trailer
that
for
movie.
this before going and see it, and I said I got to see it. The trailer was awesome.
Yes.
And it ended up being awesome.
It was great.
And basically, it's about at first a brother picked up his sister from college, and they were traveling along, and this big guy in a truck tried to run him over. Well, you don't see who it is.
Beating you.
Beating you.
Yes.
Try
Or
to-
be eating you.
Be eating you.
Yes.
So, and then they don't really follow him, but he passes them, and they see him on the side of the road, well, to a house.
And he's like throwing
He's
a fucking
throwing
body
like
or something.
At
down.
first, you think it's like laundry,
Yeah.
but it's not laundry. He's throwing something behind I think it's an old church.
It's like down. It's down some sort of pipe.
Down
into,
a pipe.
Yeah, some weird.
And of course, the brother, his name is Darian. He's curious. Well, I have no idea. And he has his sister. He wants her to go, and she says no. So she waits in the car by the road. He goes, explores this big tunnel that goes down underneath. He goes in there and sees what this just looked like a guy with a coat and a hat.
Yeah.
And that's all you see. So he goes down there to see what he's throwing down there, and he finds out, and he gets the hell out of there.
After what he sees,
and they go and basically try to get out of there. They get out, but that's where they go and talk to the cops.
And honestly, like every horror movie, cops are like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, they think you're full of crap.
Full of shit.
And stuff like that. So, of course, they didn't believe him. And from there on, they actually see what he is. And he's a very intimidating fella.
Indeed.
And come to find out, we kind of don't know what he exactly is. I think he's a gargoyle. But how he regenerates his body from taking a beating, and he's only available 1 out of
20. Was it
And
22 years?
he wakes up every 23 years for 23 days.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And he needs to feed. So he's
got the need to feed.
Yeah, so there's some of the details are still fuzzy up to this day after 3 movies and then a reboot or whatever you want to call it.
What I love about the movie is that this, whatever it is, entity, creature, person, whatever, is just unstoppable.
He is unstoppable.
Yeah.
And the idea that once he is fixated on you,
It's over.
You're done with.
Nothing will get in his way. Nothing.
He smells. His smell. If you like what you smell like or something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
thought I'm sorry.
Come down, creeper.
I've got the.
The smell. It's with the smell that he likes. If you have that smell he likes, well, kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah.
And your dinner.
And the ending is great to this movie.
Yes, it is.
Won't say what the ending is, but
no.
like, with some of these horror movies, it's gonna be a happy ending. No.
I see the ending is fantastic. I think.
Yeah, it's
not typical. I like when they throw a twist. The twist has got to work.
And what I love about this movie, like some of the other ones, is that, we always talk about the Freddys and the Jasons and the Michaels, and those are all great, don't get me wrong, those are classics. But we always want new modern-day horror icons.
Yes.
Ones that can break through the noise and really cement a place within the genre. And Jeepers Creepers definitely did that.
Yeah.
Which I do definitely
Absolutely,
appreciate.
but it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, a little gory, not too much, but
very effective.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Very
Absolutely.
effective indeed. Jeepers Creepers. Yes. Here, number 7. I don't know if I can beat Jeepers Creepers, guys. To be fair, it's so good, man. I don't know.
Let's see what you got there, kid.
You sure?
Yes.
You want to see?
No, but
Honestly?
No? Okay. Well, you'll change your mind, you especially, sir, because...
Me?
Yes.
Me?
Because you being a zombie lover
there you go.
will definitely appreciate a little bit of Romero love when we're talking about Day of the Dead. Oh,
Fantastic.
yes, Day of the motherfucking Dead, man. Let me tell you something.
Where's the Day of the Dead?
Oh, damn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I added the mother.
Yeah, an adjective to it.
Yes.
But it is so great. It is actually one of those movies that when it came out, it was not appreciated by people because
it's
it
a
was
shame.
It was a lot of people thought it was too dark and depressing, and people were like, "Oh, I just want a fun romp of a zombie movie. Why didn't he give me that?" And I think over the years, people have really appreciated this movie.
I think there's a lot of it in there.
Come to really love it. And I think the zombie effects, especially Tom Savini's zombie effects, are amazing. I love that. I love the characters of the scientists and the military and how they've been down in this bunker for so goddamn long that they just want to literally tear each other to pieces, not only having to worry about the zombies, but also having to worry about themselves as well. And I love it, and I love the main military guy, and I just love how, I think it's Rhodes, and he is such a prick of a guy, man. You just love to hate him. And he's so great, and I love the blood and gore effects here. I love the story. I just love the idea of what Romero really has to say about society and the idea that the zombies are what they are, but honestly, they're yes, a part of the problem, but it's also us as well. And I just really love that so much. And Dawn of the Dead is amazing. That's a great zombie movie. People consider that probably his masterpiece. But Day, I would argue, is just as good.
I totally agree.
I really
I like
do.
it better myself.
I really do think it's just as good, man. And honestly, nobody did a zombie flick like Romero did a zombie flick, man. And Romero was the one who really brought it to prominence. Romero was the one that really started it. And his movies have lasted because they're just that damn good.
I think it's I think it's gorier than Dawn of the Dead.
Absolutely, absolutely, 100%.
The last 10
gorier.
minutes of it.
Oh my
like
god,
that.
it's like Grand
It's
Guignol.
it's like buffet.
It's,
You know, when they pull the guy apart.
It's like,
See, his voice crackled a little bit in there, but
but I did a good job though, right?
yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. I'd love to cover that too.
It's so good, absolutely good. Nobody, and I mean nobody, ever does a great zombie flick like my man Romero. Then back to you with your number 6, sir.
6.
Oh, boy.
Oh baby, what does he got?
You thought it's been good up to this point.
Well, I don't know about
Okay.
that.
Well, I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, God.
Okay. Again, I remember watching this on TV.
Yeah.
Probably Monster Movie Matinee, which was here in Syracuse. Beast from the Haunted Cave.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay, I've never heard of it.
And just to show you the obscurity of some of these B movies, this movie,
Right.
well, let me tell you, the producer and director were Roger Corman, who was known as the king of B movies,
Yes.
and his brother, Gene Corman,
Okay.
got together and decided to make this lovely little movie. It's actually based on another movie that they did earlier called Naked Paradise. And it's about a pineapple plantation, and it takes place in Hawaii. Well, Roger Corman had the idea that he wanted to take that premise, move it to South Dakota, and put a monster in the movie.
Oh, okay.
True story. True story.
All right.
And
It's a stretch, huh?
Makes sense, I guess.
yeah,
Right across to the
Okay.
U.S. huh?
where did that come from? So anyway, it was filmed in the snow-bound regions. They say the temperatures got as low as like 10, 20 degrees below zero while they were filming.
Oh my god.
They only had
Poor
a
people.
window. They only had a window of like 12 days to finish filming, start and finish filming.
Oh my god.
And as far as the monster in the movie, again being a low budget movie, they basically went to a 5 and dime store and bought some aluminum, some wiring, a little bit of wood, and what they call angel hair, and created a spider-like creature that can spin webs and
My god.
feed off of the people that
Oh my
it
God.
traps. Okay.
All right.
And the parts that I remember as a kid was one of those where there was a tree out in the woods, and one of the characters is out there, and he looks over and he sees this woman that is completely encased in this webbing around this tree, and that left an impression on me. That was, back then it was scary. So, anyway, this creature lives in a haunted cave, and it's basically a story about these thieves who are planning a bank heist of some gold bars, and they need a diversion in order to do this. So what they do is they plant a bomb in this cave, and the bomb goes off. They steal the bars. They're now waiting for the airplane to come get them and take them off. Unfortunately, the cave that they chose to set the bomb off in was the home of this particular creature.
He's pissed.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Don't piss off the beast from the haunted cave.
yeah, and
Yeah.
again, there's a love interest, beautiful women, etc. In fact, one of the women in the movie,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Who is she?
she plays a bartender.
No.
She was a playmate, a Playboy playmate, back in 1958.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Good year, 58.
So there was,
I think so.
the sky's the limit,
Born
depending, in terms of who we bring in to help make a movie. But
Oh my god.
to make a long story short, it was just there was even a sequel that was planned to be made, but that never happened. So because I really don't think the movie did that well, but they attempt to play it up. They try to make it scary. They have the musical score, that's creepy and Halloweenish, if you will.
Yeah.
And in the end, all the thieves, get their just desserts. The beast itself is taken care of so that the heroine and the hero can go off together.
Oh.
So, yeah,
All right.
Beast from Haunted Cave.
Poor beastie.
Happily ever
Cheap,
after.
cheap, cheap.
Well,
Cheap, cheap, cheap.
What about you, though?
this is a love story.
Apparently it is.
It's not a love story you want.
Whoa.
It's not.
Okay.
It really isn't. But it's definitely a love story.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm very curious on this. What type of love story are we talking?
If you fall in love, don't fall in love with metal objects. Christine.
Ah,
Oh, yes.
Good
Yes.
movie.
Goddamn haunted car.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Why didn't they just go to the Honda dealership? God damn it.
They never
Could have got a Honda one from there too. So this one's about, what's his name? I forgot his name.
Arnie.
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 But he's
kinda like a geek.
Arnie's a geek.
Yeah.
And his best friend is a jock.
Yeah.
Plays football, and Arnie's parents are really like
Uh,
own him.
Yeah, they own him. The girls don't even notice
Yeah,
him.
they don't know who he is. His parents are. His mom's nasty to him.
Yeah.
The girls don't even know he's alive. So him and his buddy were driving around and happened to see a car that was pretty run down. This old man had the car, and they stopped to take a look at it, and Arnie loved it and wanted to buy it. And of course his friend's like, "Are you kidding me? This is terrible."
This piece of shit.
She tried to talk him out of it, but he wanted it, and so he took it to a garage. He wanted to fix it up slowly. Of course, his parents, can't have it at my house, and all that stuff. So he just kept it at a garage and just kept working on it. And he was falling in love with the car, and the car was falling in love with him.
Yeah, I was saying.
So he started to change when he got the car driving around. It's really a beautiful car now.
He was getting more confident.
And taking the glasses off, the geek glasses, got a hot chick, and he started to change into like, he thought he was hot shit.
Yeah.
He got an attitude, and everybody's wondering why, and then after a while it pretty much you figured out why.
The car is in some ways conscious of of Arnie and him being the owner, and is in love with him and will protect him at any cost.
Yup.
Even to kill. And that's, I think, what I really love about this is that it's based off of a Stephen King book.
Mhm.
Yes.
And Carpenter took it and really made it his
Oh
own.
lordy, did he?
was awesome.
This is a great movie. Obviously, the ending, you maybe knows what happened, but It's awesome. It's a little freaky.
It is freaky.
The obsession is freaky with a car. That's how I look at it as.
I love that scene when the car is all damaged.
Oh yeah, and it fixed itself.
And it fixes itself, and it's such a cool
That's
scene.
a great scene.
Man.
The car is a beautiful car, anyways.
It's the car's cherry.
Yeah, it's cherry.
Love it.
But it's just Arnie goes through so many emotions.
Yes.
Anger and
love and desperation and just so much stuff.
You can't even touch the damn car.
No.
I mean, literally. So, check it out. It's a great movie.
I think that's a great love story. Anyways, well, from killer cars that love adult men to I suppose. Well, you know, look,
where's this
man.
guy going?
Where am I going? Well, I'm going over to the Titty Twister when I be talking about From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, you remember this one,
I remember it.
man? Yes.
Yeah.
George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino, Harvey Keitel is in here. Juliette Lewis, directed by Robert Rodriguez. Oh man, this is a phenomenal movie that really is kind of interesting because for half of the movie, you're basically in this sort of hostage situation where Clooney and Tarantino are brothers and they're psychotic and they take this family. Juliette Lewis is part of the family, Harvey Keitel's the dad, and they kidnap them and they want to go across to Mexico. Over the border, and once they do that, they'll be safe, and then, you know, the U.S. is not going to go after them, and basically, they said, look, once we end up meeting with our contact, we'll let you guys go, hey, fine, you know, whatever, right? And they go into this bar, the Titty Twister, and this bar with all this hot naked chicks. You got Cheech Marin there, who's one of the announcers. Oh, you like women? Come here. We got all kinds of women, and all kinds. Cheech is great. You got Danny Trejo as one of the bartenders here.
Tom Savini in it.
Tom Savini is in here. He's one of the patrons inside the bar.
And something else.
You have so many actors here, and they see this show. This beautiful woman comes out, star of the show, Selma Hayek, comes out, beautiful looking, gorgeous. She does this seductive dance. And everyone's like, oh my God, amazing! She's amazing, oh my God, this is the best fucking night of all time. We're free men. We got this hot chick dancing for us. We got booze all over the place.
Did they say this?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
And
I just wanted to know.
And what ends up happening is, oh, by the way, all of these people in the bar, the topless dancers, the bartenders, everyone who works at this place, oh, by the way, are killer vampires that are literally ready to devour them.
They're nice vampires?
Well, there is nice vampires out there.
No.
But, I mean,
They're ones that just not kill?
Well, they try their hardest. But these ones
Okay,
kill
well,
like a motherfucker.
okay.
These ones kill like a motherfucker. And it's basically them trapped in this bar, trying to survive the night into the day, and hope to God that they can last. And it's brutal, and it's uncompromising, and I love the characters here. I love the dialogue. Clooney is one sarcastic, charming asshole, which I really love. And what's great about this is really his first starring role that he did in movies.
Wow.
Before this, he was in ER, and he had done, obviously, some stuff on Roseanne and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember that.
But this is his first major starring role in a film.
Wow.
And he was absolutely phenomenal here. Quentin Tarantino is one creepy motherfucker. He's so great in this flick. Selma Hayek turning into this snake-like vampire is so fucking cool. I love the vampires. I love the effects. I love the blood. I love the gore. I love the design of the Titty Twister. It's such an amazing and unique bar. And this movie really turns on a dime in the second half. In the first half, it's still a really great movie. So tons of really great characters and moments. But once you get to the vampire stuff, man, it kicks into major high gear like a mofo.
Yeah.
And is so goddamn good, man. I love it. They made sequels, they made prequels, they even made a TV series, which was okay for what it was. But nothing will ever really beat the first movie. It is so goddamn good, man. It really is. I believe this was the late 90s.
Wow.
The late 90s this was made, man. And let me tell you something. Still holds up to this day. Vampire goodness, I consider it one of the better ones. Oh, indeed I do, man. Not bad at all. But Van, what about your number 5?
Number 5. It just keeps getting better.
Oh, just better and better.
And if you believe
We
that.
shall see.
Uh,
Oh boy.
since we're talking about brains quite a bit, we have another one. It's called The Brain That Wouldn't Die. And basically it's a story about a man and his fiancée who get in a car accident and she loses her head, but because his expertise is in transplants, he feels as if he can save her by reattaching her head to another body.
Oh, good lord.
Oh my
So he takes the head back to his lab,
God.
hooks the head up to all kinds of wires and electronics and
Electrodes and all
tubes and all this and that.
All the gadgets.
And believe it or not, even though she's
I believe it.
been decapitated, she opens her eyes and she's able to talk.
Okay.
And she actually resents the fact that he's trying to keep her alive.
Oh.
Because she does not want to be attached to somebody else's body. Well, the boyfriend, in the meantime, goes out to these various bars, if you will, strip clubs, and tries to find a woman of his liking to donate, so to speak, her body.
Jesus.
Now,
Boy, what a conversation that'd be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another twist to this movie is that they have experimented with this idea before, and some of the experiments on humans did not go all that well, including his assistant, which has a deformed hand. And there's the thing in the closet, which she has a psychic connection with.
Okay.
All right, she's able to communicate with him.
All right.
And
Interesting.
he's quite the character. He's big, he's strong, he's ugly. He looks like he's been put together, piecemeal. And
Oh my God, what's next in this thing? I'm just taking this all in.
Yeah.
Just taking this all in, man.
And basically what happens is that the head, we'll call her the head,
Wow.
gets the creature in the closet to break free
Oh my God.
and attack the doctor.
Alright.
At one point, he actually tears the arm off of one of the assistants. So it does have a little bit of blood to it, which isn't expected for this time period. And the last scene of the movie, there's a fire that takes place.
Okay.
And the last scene of the movie shows the head, and she says, "I told you to let me die."
He said no, man.
And in the
He loves
meantime,
her. He loves her.
the creature picks up the woman who was slated to be the new body
Okay.
and saves her. And
Okay.
that's how the movie ends.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this came out in 1959. It was
Good year.
originally
Good
called.
year.
It was originally called The Black Door. Don't ask me why, unless the door to
Why?
the
Why was the
closet
door-
was black. I don't know.
Okay.
Because she couldn't.
I don't know.
Emmett. Okay.
And
Glad they changed it.
I know.
yeah. It kind of reminded me of the classic Frankenstein plot where science goes too far and tries to mess with nature.
Okay.
And and sometimes nature rebels and you pay the price. So it's called The Brain
The Brain
That Wouldn't Die.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Boy,
Damn brains in
Good
this.
stuff.
man, I'm
It's a theme of brains
I'm getting
here.
I'm getting a brain drain like a motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Oh wow. Well, from brains that wouldn't die to whatever
Whatever the hell I have.
or antics you guys.
Okay, well, I'm gonna match sort of like Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay. This one. Vamp.
Oh yeah.
Vamp. This is awesome.
Vamp, great.
A vampire movie, of course. I love vampire movies.
Love Vamp.
And this one
So good.
starts out in college. College kids want to get some strippers for their fraternity.
Yes.
So
It's good. Yeah.
Good
the
idea.
two guys, the two college kids want. They went and got another college kid to drive.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember what they offered him, but
It was to be his friend.
to be his friend.
Yes.
That's it. Yes. Wow. And so they all got in the car and they took off. They wanted to find a strip joint to bring some strippers back to the fraternity. So I guess they say there's other dimensions in the world, so they were driving and I think they went to make a turn somewhere and the car just spun and I'd never seen a turn like this, and then it went from daylight to nighttime and they're kind of on the same street. It's like they went through a portal or something, and they're like, what the hell? So they continue on their journey.
Yeah. Okay.
And they don't know where they are, but they still want to hit the strip joint. So they hit a strip joint, and it's a really weird club. Like, one of their friends disappear. And I forgot his name. But he's in a lot of movies. And he disappeared, and the other two guys kind of want to leave. Because it's just a weird place. And come to find out, he had some fun. Well,
one.
the lady
one
that
had
owns
more fun than
one
the
more
other.
fun. The lady that runs this and owns it is pretty much the queen,
Yes.
the queen vampire. So the bar was basically all the strippers, all the employees were vampires. So it pretty much is a night of survival. It's comedy. It's got comedy in it.
It's a horror comedy.
Yeah,
to be fair,
And pretty much without giving out the rest, like I always say, they're just trying to get out alive and go back to civilization. And they meet a bartender that is actually not a vampire, which is Michelle Pfeiffer's sister, Dee Pfeiffer.
Yes.
And she's regular. She wants to get out because she found out what all of her employees that she works with are vampires, and the rest of the night is just comical, and they got to get out. A lot of one-liners.
Crazy hijinks.
Funny as shit. I remember I actually seen this movie when it first came out.
You were in the movie theater?
No, I was at the Hollywood.
Okay.
The Hollywood. And loved it. And then I remember I want to say it was on HBO. Home box office, whatever you want to call it nowadays. I know. So it was one movie that I had on one of my VHS tapes that me and my brother always watched. So, and love it then, love it now, and still watch it. So.
And can I say how much I love Grace Jones?
Grace?
In the movie.
Oh, how did I forget about Grace Jones?
Grace Jones is so great,
Yes,
and
she is.
She's very seductive, but yet incredibly terrifying, man.
Yes, she's.
I mean,
sorry, I forgot about that.
There's that scene where Robert Russler
Yep.
and her are literally sort of like making out, and she pins him down, and then she transforms, and her teeth, gnarly
The transformation
teeth and
is sweet,
everything. And then suddenly, like, Robert Russell's like, what the fuck is it? And then suddenly it's like, you know, like, she's just pinning him down and just gnawing at him, and you're like, oh my god, man. It's like 1 minute you're like in like, oh, this is some sexy shit, and the next minute you're
That's
like,
exactly
oh,
not what it is, but that's how she
it's
plays
so
off.
Good. She's so great.
She's the boss of the bar, so
so great. Love her in that movie. So great. Absolutely. Vamp killer. Good time, dare I say. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I can truly beat Vamp or
I don't know,
or a brain that wouldn't die.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
You know, try.
Damn brain movies.
I mean,
Never
because man,
He's building up his movie.
Probably.
you know, here's the deal. You know, in your movies, you always talk about experimentation. And I agree, experimentation can be a very unique thing, but sometimes it can go horribly wrong. Indeed, it can. And for this gentleman, let's just say the transformation isn't in his favor. When we're talking about The Fly. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Jeff Goldblum in The Fly, directed by David Cronenberg. Oh, man, be afraid. Be very afraid. Oh, you know, look, man, I love the old school Fly movies. They're so great. They're really infectiously fun. Cheesy, yes, but still very, very well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, let's be honest. When we're talking about horror remakes, man, it really is a fucking gamble. And a lot of times horror remakes just simply aren't that good.
No.
I mean, let's be real here. They're just not. And yet, I think what makes this work are the actors are really committed to it. Cronenberg is really willing to go very deep on the disgusting end of this movie, and just really just goes in on the fact that every time you see Jeff Goldblum, he just gets progressively worse.
Definitely.
And then once you see him, you're like, well, God, he can't get even worse. And oh my God, he's bad. He can't get any worse than this. Holy shit. He's worse. And it just progressively just icky and gooey. And I just love the idea that Jeff Goldblum plays this scientist who is really on the breakthrough of something really tremendous. And he's sort of courting and liking Gina Davis's character, and he does a test on himself. And what he didn't realize is that there happened to be a fly that just comes right in to the chamber and merges with his DNA. And slowly but surely, he is turning into something unimaginable. And it is really, really fantastic, man. I love Goldblum here. I love Gina Davis. I think they're really fantastic. I love the chemistry between them. I love just the disgusting body horror in this flick, which is so absolutely amazing and awesome. You know, to me, nobody does body horror like Cronenberg. Whether we're talking about The Brood, or we're talking about this film, or Existenz, so many other really great flicks that he's done, and this is really just one of his best efforts. And what's really interesting is this movie is produced by Mel Brooks, which is interesting because when they first screened this movie, they were screening it to critics, and they gave them all like these bug hats and sort of like these little like poppers and everything. Like, oh, it's gonna be a goofy, ridiculous fly movie produced by Mel Brooks. And then once they saw the movie, yeah, I think they lost their lunch. And so I just love the idea of taking the expectations of an old school movie and really doing something very unique and interesting of a remake with it. If you do something that's a little bit more modern and something a little bit different, I think it can work, and The Fly is a really great example of that. So good. They just don't make them like The Fly. Man.
Guess what?
Oh God, you're number 4. What is it?
It's another B movie.
Oh, it is!
And it starts with a brain.
Oh God.
No, this one doesn't.
Oh, thank the Lord.
But
the Watusi.
the U.S. title.
Okay.
Because this is actually a British movie.
Oh, okay. All right.
So the
Is it really?
yeah, the
I heard
Brits
of it.
actually had their B movies as well. So
Ooh, okay.
The English title was called The Trollenberg Terror. And I can see why they changed the title, because people in the U.S., where the hell is Trollenberg, So they changed it to The Crawling Eye.
Okay.
I heard of this.
And it came out in 1958. The one actor that I recognized was Forrest Tucker, who's been in a couple of different movies. He also played in the series F Troop.
Okay.
I
Is
heard
that
of
old
Troop.
enough to remember that?
Wow.
Okay.
I remember
Alright.
it. I wasn't born then, but I heard of it.
But okay. So anyway,
Oh.
Crawling Eye.
Ah, okay. Oh, that's a great. I like that artwork.
Yeah.
Man. I like that artwork.
Yep.
Take the picture.
And and the story takes place in the Swiss mountainside. And what it is, there's an observatory up at the top,
Okay.
and they have these strange clouds that are appearing.
Okay.
And sometimes they don't move at all. Other times they move up the mountain. Other times they move down the mountain. A lot of people are being decapitated as they go mountain climbing.
Okay.
In fact, the movie starts off with 3 climbers. One happens to fall, but he's hooked up to the safety rope. So they're pulling their partner up with this rope. And they get him up to this ledge where they're at, and he has no head.
Damn.
Yep.
Bad
Yep.
day.
So that's just the beginning, because there are a number of other decapitations that take place, twinned with another movie called The Strange World of Planet X, which I've never heard of or never
No
seen.
way.
No, you never heard of that?
Yeah, no.
Had a brain anyway now.
So basically, the storyline is it's this giant eye creature with tentacles, okay, and each cloud that they see contains one of these creatures. So if you see one cloud, not so bad, just one creature.
Sure.
If you see 3 clouds, then you're in trouble.
Okay.
Okay. So the I'm going to call them eye creatures actually attack the observatory, which is very modern, has these shields that come down over the windows, 3-foot thick walls. So the people inside, including Forrest Tucker's character, some of them have experienced this before over in the Andes Mountains.
Okay.
Okay, and of course the villagers have their own legends as to what's taking place, but they feel also that there is something in these clouds that's causing these murders to take place. Special effects aren't bad, okay. Leonard Maltin, who was a fairly famous film critic, called it okay, the movie okay.
Wow, well that's a glowing review. It's okay.
He said parts of it were cheesy, but it did have some aspects of it that were worthwhile.
Okay.
Some of the other special effects were like the wall cracking and one of these creatures coming through it that I thought was done, fairly well.
Okay.
The music background when you see the creatures adds to the the atmosphere of you're in trouble because these things are coming for you. These creatures, whenever they appear, it's viciously cold.
Okay.
Okay. And one scene is where they have a what would you call it, like a trolley
Okay.
that takes them up to the laboratory, and as these creatures make their way up the mountain, the mechanism that's used to transport the trolley freezes.
Okay.
So there's a race against time to get the people to the lab so that at least they have some protection. Okay. So
I had a question.
Yep.
Okay. It's in the cold.
Yep.
These are creatures with gigantic eyes.
Right.
They don't worry about dry eye?
No. massive bottles of Lysine.
Okay.
You know,
I just wanted to.
Can be seen, in the background.
Okay.
So,
I just wanted
yeah,
to make sure. I think dry eye is a problem, and
Yeah.
then I just.
they take care of that. So anyway,
thought I'd ask.
Forrest Tucker's
You got an
character
answer.
comes up with the brilliant, statement that maybe heat could be their downfall. So they make up all these Molotov cocktails, and they're throwing at him, and it does, do some slight damage,
Okay.
as far as keeping the creatures at bay.
Sure.
And but in the end, they call for the good old Air Force with their napalm bombs,
Yeah.
and take these creatures out once and for all.
Okay.
So
There you go.
it's not bad.
It's not
It's
bad.
not bad.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Not as good as Plan 9.
No,
Oh, God.
nothing is. So.
Plan 9 from outer space.
Oh,
Yep.
From gigantic eyes that don't have to worry about dry eye to
Oh, lordy, lordy.
to your next wonderful
My next
venture.
one.
Oh,
I
Lord.
see.
Oh, what the? Okay, I can't wait for this.
Why? This is a movie called Poltergeist.
Woo! Oh, wow. Poltergeist.
They're here.
Thank you. This is another movie that me and my brother watched all the time.
Okay.
It was on a lot of stations.
Yeah.
Basically, it's about a haunting of a family. They have a young girl, older daughter, and
And a brother.
boy and a brother. And little by little, there's a lot of weird stuff happening, and the little girl is
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann
Mm-hmm.
is hearing.
Don't go in the light, Carol
Is that from the movie? Oh.
Carol Ann. And
You
right, I'm trying my best. And she's hearing voices in the house and just little things around the house. And she meets somebody in the house, and whatever the person is, they're kind of in the TV, and she speaks to them and this and that. And after a little while, it starts to get aggressive, and pretty much kidnaps her through the TV. And they hire people to come in, from the college, I want to say, and to investigate this and that, and just a whole weird shit happening. They get her back, and they think it's over, but it's not. No. And it gets worse.
Yeah.
You pissed off something.
It's so
It's awesome.
great. The effects are
The effects are amazing.
I love. There's that one scene with the clown.
Yes.
The toy
Oh,
clown.
yeah.
There's a toy clown that was haunting them.
Terrifying.
Yes, a lot of people are scared of clowns, so that if you're scared of clowns, this ain't your movie.
No,
That's
hell
for
no.
damn sure.
And I love the idea that the evil stuff is coming out of your TV.
Yes.
And that's
Yep.
so great. The thing that you watch is coming at you. Like
Yep.
I love that. I thought that was fantastic.
A lot of flashing lights,
Yep.
stuff like that, and it's just such a good movie.
I love Craig T. Nelson in there. I love Zelda Rubinstein.
Yes,
The great.
that is a
great-
lady they bring in to do to help Carol Ann, show her back to here, because she went to another dimension or just
Yes,
whatever it is,
weird
and they had
stuff.
to pull her out of it, and she helped out.
Yeah,
So
it's great.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. Oh, Carol Ann, man.
Carol.
That chick could never catch a break. Oh,
No.
could never do it. But
Fortunately, she passed away after that.
she
girl.
passed away after the third film.
Okay. Yeah.
Shortly after the third film,
She was
she had some sort of condition,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, there was no cure for it.
And she was in Happy Days at the very tail end of Happy Days.
Yes.
She played. Fonzie got involved with a girl,
Okay.
and I think he was about to settle down, and the girl that he was dating had a daughter, and it was Carol Ann.
Was this before or after Fonzie jumped the shark?
Oh, this is after.
Okay.
Yeah, this is after.
Okay, probably.
I'm almost sure
stopped
is
watching.
what's your last name? Her name was O'Rourke.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty
O'Rourke,
sure
yes.
that she was in Happy Days. I'm
Yeah.
almost sure it was
Yeah.
her. Still looked the same.
Interesting.
You kid.
Oh, me?
Yeah, don't act stupid.
Me? What? Oh, my number 4. Oh, Lord. I guess I gotta show it.
Oh, don't
Oh,
twist your arm. Pop your head off. Take your brain out. Right?
Yeah.
Can we stop talking about brains for
Uh,
Christ's sake?
Probably.
Oh,
Wow.
man. Well, look. When you're talking about horror, there's so many avenues that you could go down. But I suppose sometimes a few good stories in one horror anthology is really worth diving into. And this one is one of the best of them all. When we're talking about Tales from the Dark Side. Oh, yeah.
You know what? That's funny. That's really funny.
Why is it so funny?
Because when I made my list,
Yeah.
that was one of them.
That was one
That
of
was
them?
that was on the side.
It was on the side?
Originally, it was in there.
It wasn't there. You
And
took
then
it
I went to
out.
the side. It went to another pile, and it.
He knew ultimately in his heart that was going to pull it. But
When
anyway.
you say anthology, I knew that
Yes.
was it.
Now, you know what, look, there's so many great horror anthologies, whether we're talking about Creepshow or Creepshow 2, the old Tales from the Crypt stuff from back in the day, and so much other things, right? And I think in some ways, maybe even just slightly, Tales from the Dark Side kind of gets forgotten just a wee
Yes,
bit
it does.
among the crowd. Maybe.
It's awesome.
Maybe it didn't make as huge of an impact at the time that some of the other ones did, but I think over time it's gained a lot of appreciation.
Yep.
I really do feel that, and I love these stories, man. I think my favorite story in there is the gargoyle. The gargoyle.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
The idea of this guy that encounters the gargoyle, and the gargoyle tells him, like, it does something, is that you have to keep this a secret.
Yes.
And whether he does or not is an interesting thing, but I love that. I love the one about, there's like one with like a mummy in there,
Yes.
which
Yep.
is really great
That's
as well.
a great one.
I love that one as well. That's a really
The
great one.
cat.
The cat, which is really, love that. And I love the wraparound that has Debbie Harry in it.
Yes.
Who is trying to cook the little kid in the stove.
So underrated.
It's so underrated.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. And
Damn.
I think at the
I
time,
was wrong.
yes, you were. I think at the time, I think most people were probably wanting something a little bit more fun and raucous, and this is very dark.
Yes.
And
That's why it's great.
I think over time, I think horror sensibilities changed. I think people re-look at movies
Yep.
over the years and say, wow, well, we misvalued this all these years ago, and it's gotten better with age.
Mhm.
And Tales from the Dark Side is
Yes.
absolutely one of them. Not every horror anthology works. I'll be completely fair, but this easily has to be, in my opinion,
Hell
one
yes.
of the top 10 best horror anthologies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Truly, honestly does.
Mine was high too. Mine
Mm.
probably would have been right what you did.
Tales from the Dark Side.
Damn.
So damn good. Oh, indeed it is. Oh,
Man, I had it. It was right in my pile.
I know, but don't worry, because I'm representing.
I know, but I'm surprised. I can't believe I didn't do it though.
I know. Well, now we're on to Van
Hell.
with his number 3. Van, what do you got cooking this
Number
time,
3.
brother?
Well, you had your giant insects, your ticks.
Oh,
Oh my God!
Okay.
What? Yes.
So I had to bring in
Oh Lord.
a giant
Oh my God.
tarantula.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
Which came out in 1955.
50.
Oh, year-
Holy cow!
year
Even
I
on
was
Blu-ray.
born. Basically, it's about this professor who is attempting to solve the food shortage problem that is taking place in the world. And so they're experimenting with all these different growth hormones.
Okay.
Okay, so they're they're injecting, like rabbits and guinea pigs and mice and everything, and they're just growing at a fantastic rate over a couple of days' time.
All right.
But there's a drawback to it at the same time. There's a disease that's going around, and I don't remember the name of it. It's got this long name to it. And one of his assistants happens to get it. And being exposed to the isotope, if you will, that they're using, increases the speed and the effect that it has on the human body. It basically deforms the human body, in particular the head.
All right.
Becomes deformed. Some of the limbs can be deformed as well. And what happens is the assistant, once he realizes that this is what's happening, blames the scientist for it, and they get into a little bit of a tussle. And during this time, a chair is thrown up against the cage that is holding the tarantula, which is growing at an incredible rate.
Okay. And then it's let loose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it gets loose. The special effects are fairly basic. What they do is they use what's called a rear projection.
Stepping up.
To illustrate the size of the spider.
So the tarantula is the same size as what a tarantula is,
Correct.
But they do this projection of a bigger or a smaller thing so that the tarantula looks bigger.
Right.
Okay.
And it's an actual tarantula, and so they save mucho money there, not having to build one, so to speak.
Sure.
Although there are some close-ups of like mandibles and legs and things like that, but for the most part, it's the rear projection that you see the spider, like when it's chasing down a car, whether it's crushing a house that the professor has his lab in, and the professor himself gets this disease and becomes deformed, and his beautiful assistant, which goes without saying,
Why would there not?
Absolutely.
Attempts to help him out as best as she can. And John Agar is again in this B movie. And
John, I know.
Of course he's getting sweet on the female assistant that was brought in.
Yeah.
Why not?
So the spider itself that was used in this movie was used in another horror movie called The Incredible Shrinking Man.
Okay.
Never seen.
Well, I've heard of it.
Yeah, a new actor. This is one of his first appearances in a movie. He plays the squadron leader of some jets that come and help save the day at the end of the movie when nothing is stopping the spider, not bullets, not electricity. What else did they use? Bazookas, you name it. They try everything. And this tarantula just keeps on trucking.
Okay.
So, Clint Eastwood.
Holy shit! Really?
Is the squadron leader.
Whoa!
He's got about 3 lines.
Oh my god!
Together. And again, one of his first appearances. And just as an aside, he also appears in Revenge of the Creature as a lab assistant.
Yes, I remember that.
And those are 2 of his first on-screen performances.
Didn't know that.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
So
the tarantula.
Tarantula, not bad. I think that what got my attention when I was younger was the spider, obviously itself, and it did look realistic because it was real.
Okay.
And the way that the deformed scientists looked after they had contracted this disease. So
okay.
Yep. So
Wow.
Tarantula.
Tarantula.
Yep.
Yes. From Killer Tarantulas too. So whatever this guy's
That's
got.
all I got. Jesus Christ. Do I have to go and get it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Do?
okay.
What is your number 3, sir?
Oh, lordy.
Oh, what
Oh,
is this
lordy.
Oh, boy.
Holy shit, it is Return of the Living Dead.
Return
of the Living Dead.
Return
Return of the Living
Dead.
Dead.
Uncut. Of course, another zombie movie.
Another zombie movie. You love your zombies.
I love my
You
zombies.
love your zombies.
And
Can't get enough.
this one, very, very funny.
Mm.
The two main guys in it are hilarious. It's about there's a guy that he's working in a mortuary, right?
No, it's not.
No, it's a
mortuary.
crematory.
Yeah.
It's a crematory, but it's also where they
bomb people.
They store dead parts for like
Yes,
medical
yes.
stuff and everything.
Yeah,
I get it all
chemical
confused.
tanks.
Yup, and all that stuff. And he's training a new young kid, and they discover a military experiment downstairs.
Yes.
And of course, it breaks open, and then the music starts. Dun, 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 you know that funky music.
Yep.
And then the gas comes out, and you see the clouds start raining and all that stuff. And they get pretty much the smoke that comes out of the tank, and something else comes out of the tank.
Basically reanimates the dead.
Yup, and it comes out and brings the dead alive.
Yes, indeed.
They
it does.
got some of the smoke, but they were turning slowly. And in the canister was the Tar Man.
Yes, I love the Tar Man.
He's just a zombie.
So good.
And so they're starting to get sick. They're not feeling good. All this stuff. But in the meantime, there's a bunch of punk rockers that causing havoc, and they want to party. And so they decide to break into the cemetery across the street. Linnea Quigley.
Linnea Quigley.
Is the punk rocker with the pink hair. I think she got pink hair. So, of course, they all eventually turn. And it's just a big fest. Zombie movies are pretty... Some are plain, some are,
But this is like the rock and roll
Yes,
zombie flick.
yes,
I mean,
it
really is. And also, I love the zombie effects.
Yep.
I love the zombie humor. I love when, like, the zombie is in one of the, like, cop cars, like, send more cops.
Send more cops.
And,
little
more
stuff
cops.
like that was fantastic, and that's
Yep.
what I love about the movie.
And if you really think about it, these zombies were not slow. They
were
actually-
faster
were
than your
actually
normal
fast.
zombies, so that's a scary thing.
I love that, and I love certain things in the movie. Like, I mean, let's be honest, man. When we're talking about Linnea Quigley, the dancing scene where she's absolutely friggin' naked and she's dancing like that.
Yeah.
And then when she comes back to life after getting ripped to shreds, she looks like almost like a pale version.
Yeah.
And she's got like this big mouth, and she's like, and I love that. I love the zombie effects. I love the humor. I just think that it's one of those ones that is the rarity that it's just hitting on all cylinders. The horror is just as good as the humor, and everything works.
It's not too much humor.
No, it's a nice balance.
It's a
and I love
balance, and it's perfect, and it's hilarious. So.
And the score is very good.
And the score
The
is very good
is
too.
excellent.
There you go.
Excellent. I have this on track, and it's awesome. So,
Yes.
Return of the Living Dead.
Of the
Yes.
Living Dead.
Good thing they came.
That's the way they say it. I mean, the Living Dead.
Very nice. Oh, man, we've got big giant tarantula. We've got rock and roll zombies. We've got a lot of things.
Oh, jeez, here's the setup.
But do we have?
Can I measure up? But we'll try. We'll try to measure up because honestly, it's one thing to be dead. It's another thing to be brought back to life. But is that necessarily the best thing?
Depends what the movie is.
Well, for these people, probably not when we're talking Pet Cemetery. Oh, yes.
The original.
Nice.
The original Pet Cemetery. We ain't talking about that remake bullshit, okay?
No.
We talking about the original Pet Cemetery movie, man, based off of a Stephen King book, man. And I love this movie. It is, when you're talking about loved ones that sort of pass on, you always think to yourself, God, I wish I could bring them back. I wish I could sort of have more time with them.
Mm-hmm.
And there just so happens to be a cemetery that you could do that.
Sure can.
Yep.
However, when they come back, they're not exactly how you remember them. And this is a prime example of never bring the dead back to life. This is truly one of those. And I just love the idea of this little boy getting hit by the truck. And the parents are devastated. And this old man,
Herman Munster.
Fred Gwynn,
Yep.
absolutely great. He does awesome in this movie. And the idea that he's reluctant to say to the father, there is a way to bring him back. But because it's a little boy, because the father and mother are so grief-stricken, he says, maybe I could do it this one time and tell him. And, you know, they tried it out with the cat.
Yes.
The cat comes back. Shocker, the cat's not exactly the same, but he's not really thinking much about it. And then when the kid comes back, the idea that you have a body, but you also have a soul. And if you have no soul in your body, it's just flesh, for the sake of being flesh. And, you know, the idea that somebody else's soul or personality goes into that body is just creepy and eerie and disturbing. And I love it so much. There's that one scene where the little kid cuts the tendon of Fred Gwynn.
Yeah.
And it's so, you're just, oh my God, you're like,
Start
holy
hurt like a mother.
shit. It's so great. And I love the ending to the movie. Don't really want to give it away, but it's just the idea that the father just can't let go. And it's just basically destroying him and everybody around him. And it is a wild ride. It's dark, and honestly, it's uncompromising. When it comes to kids, it's not easy to deal with horror like this, but I think they did it brilliantly.
Yeah.
And it was directed by a woman.
Yes.
Which is even more interesting, considering, you know, women have the idea of giving life and, you know, directing a movie about death. And it's very fascinating and very interesting, and the effects are amazing, and I just love it. Pet Sematary is classic for a reason, because it's just that damn good.
One of my favorite, one of many favorite scenes from that movie was when the boy had been brought back.
Yeah.
And the father injects him in the neck with something that puts him out.
Yes.
And the little boy is walking away, turns his head, and he goes, "Unfair."
Yeah.
and then just passes out.
Yeah.
I love that scene.
It's so great, man. Like I said, you know, this could have turned out cheesy. It could have turned out ridiculous. But the way they made it work was really excellent or really phenomenal. And, you know, not every Stephen King adaptation works. Not everyone does. No. To be fair, maybe they're not meant to. But certain ones have really great cinematic potential. And Pet Sematary is one of those ones that is just a pure classic.
Absolutely.
Man!
What?
You're number 2.
Oh,
yes! Oh, God, what do you got in your bag of tricks?
Okay, before we left, John thought that he knew what my next movie was going to be. So I'm going to ask him, and we'll let all of you know whether or not he's correct.
What do you think Dan's number 2?
What do I think it's gonna be?
Yes.
Well, I might be wrong, but I think it's maybe Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Nope.
Oh, man. Boy,
That's for another year.
Boy, you can't guess worth shit.
Okay.
Wow. There's a million movies.
I think you'll still.
Sorry, I didn't guess it.
This came out in 1951.
51. You see, he doesn't even guess the dates right.
And
The thing. I just said the thing.
the original
I just said the
thing.
From another world.
Yes, with James Arness, and again, for those of you who are old enough, went on to star in Gunsmoke as Marshall Dillon, Matt Dillon, for over 20 years. I'm not sure how long the show was on, but he played the creature. This is the original that later on John Carpenter made a remake of,
Yes.
which was brilliant.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
But this one, again, is
I have not seen this.
deeply engulfed in my brain.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Wow.
As to the impact that it made on not only myself but my friends as well. First of all, there's a crash landing of a spaceship, okay, in the Antarctic or Arctic, and the scientists that are there or brought in discover, the ship, and they find through digging that there is a creature, inside of it, encased in ice. So they bring back this creature
Not a good idea.
to the lab, and some idiot puts a blanket over, and it proceeds to thaw out and run amok, so to speak. But
Stupid guy.
the original idea was to make it a shape shifter, which is more in line of the John Carpenter theme. Okay, but again, that word budget,
Yes.
unfortunately, didn't allow for it. But another factor was that they felt that the creature that James Arness portrays was pretty frightening, and they purposefully avoided any close-ups
All right.
of his face.
Okay.
For that reason.
Oh, stop.
Sure.
Okay. Well, you got to remember this is 1951.
Okay.
Deal with it.
But it's just an incredible movie. You have on one side of the story, you have your scientists that want to save this. It's somebody that we need to learn how to communicate, with these beings from another planet.
Yes.
And then the other side being, this is a dangerous MF, and we need to kill
Wow.
it.
The closest you ever swore.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, once in a while. But James Arness being 6'6", 6'7",
Damn, he's that tall?
plus whatever lifts they
And
put
then,
in.
then you have a left.
Yeah, he was big. He
Okay.
was definitely big and imposing. There's one scene where he's fighting with some dogs, which is pretty incredible, even though it's shot from a distance.
Okay.
He's picking them up and he's throwing them, and it's just, I thought it was pretty well done, especially for something that's 1951, 49, and 22, 71 years ago.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay,
Oh my God.
so for them to come up with some of the effects like that, and I think are just amazing. The ending to the movie, I don't know if I should tell you or not.
No.
Oh,
But-
leave it a mystery.
It's a
Okay.
mystery.
Is incredible.
Okay.
It is the best,
Heck, you
by
just
far
gave it
the
away.
best part of the movie. Okay,
All right.
and
I've never seen it.
yeah, it's just
Maybe
Maybe I've seen bits
extremely,
and pieces.
yeah, extremely well done in terms of, what happens, the special effects again for that time period, and it's true that you don't see this creature in its entirety for almost well into an hour.
Okay, but that doesn't matter though. 'Cause
No, it didn't to me, because the rest of the storyline that builds
It's good.
up to this ending
It's really good.
keeps your interest and makes the whole experience worthwhile.
Okay.
So if you like John Carpenter's The Thing, which I did,
Yes.
I certainly did, and you want to go back to the original, this is the one.
Came from another world.
Yep.
Ah, very nice.
Wow.
Nice. Wow. From old school 50s classics to whatever this bum's got.
Ooh.
Well,
Sir,
listen, bum.
you're number 2.
Okay. This one was on TV.
Oh,
This was
You
on
don't
TV.
say.
They had
Things are on
okay,
TV?
This was on TV. No, this was actually 359.
Oh, okay. All right.
Your local
And-
stations.
I think Van likes this.
I probably do.
This is fantastic. I saw all the episodes. I was super young,
Hmm.
but
Episode.
and this is actually a pilot.
Okay.
This is the first two. The first two. They had 2 pilots before the season started,
Okay.
and he passed away. You know who he is. You know who he is.
Okay.
There was one called The Night Strangler.
Oh.
This is The Night Stalker. This is
Awesome.
Darren McGavin.
Oh, yes.
This, I fucking love this.
I watched that religiously.
All the episodes are cheesy as fuck, but let me tell you something.
Doesn't matter.
This was, I wasn't sure if this was the first pilot or the second one. I have the other one, which is The Night Strangler. This is The Night Stalker. And after the pilots, they went right into the seasons.
Yep.
This was really X-Files before X-Files.
Chris Carter got an idea.
Yeah, right.
Yes, exactly.
And this was started it off. This was The Night The Night Stalker. Carl Kolchak is an investigator, and this one, I think he was like a private investigator before he went into the season.
With a newspaper?
Yeah. I don't know if he was with a newspaper here on this one or The Night Strangler, but when he went into the season, when it actually good enough to make it, he was, I think it was Chicago. It was called NS. I can't remember the newspaper. So basically, he was a reporter that got all the monsters.
Yeah.
The vampire. He was
that.
He investigated, and they didn't like it.
Okay.
And they didn't believe it.
All right.
But this one, The Night Stalker, it's either the first or the second pilot, I can't remember. He's in Vegas, hanging out. He's working. He's very forceful. He wants to know every little thing, and they don't like him. The police don't like him.
Of course.
Because he always gets out, he gets the good stuff.
Sure. And they don't
because his friend is kind of in with the cops, so he gets the...
okay.
So there's a bunch of killings going along in Vegas. And come to find out that they're drained of blood. So
Important clue.
And the clues start coming in about how they're dying, and this guy has been seen at the hospital stealing blood.
Yes.
So pretty much you understand what he is, and it's just that Kolchak is a smartass. He's got fired from different places.
Yeah.
And it's 74 minutes. So movie, I don't know. Close to a movie.
Sure, yeah, close.
He's in Vegas. He finds out who the guy is, pays a visit. And there's more to the story than I'm holding it back, obviously. But like I said, there's another one like this. This is from Kino Lorber.
Yep.
I left this at home because I didn't know. And this one I like better than The Night Strangler, but The Night Strangler is excellent.
Yeah.
But this one is excellent, and there's a lot of episodes. Kino Lorber has the whole complete series. I bought that. That was a little pricey, but it was worth it. And it reminds me of the X-Files a little bit.
Yeah.
It does, because he encounters vampires.
All kinds of stuff.
All kinds.
Kinds of different
Devil
supernatural
worshippers. Motorcycles that are...
I remember that.
A motorcycle rider that is a ghost with no head.
Yeah.
It's so cheesy.
Okay.
But he is awesome. Darren McGavin, he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Darren McGavin.
Christmas Story.
Yep.
Was the father of Christmas Story.
Father.
He was in that program. I know he's in a lot, but the ones that I know of, Christmas Story, and he was in Designing Women. Is it Designing Women? It was in the 80s and 90s TV show.
I don't know whether it was Designing Women, but it was something
like that. And I'm sure he was in it, and he's just in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
and he passed away in a few years, but he's awesome. Even the vampire looks fantastic.
Yeah, the vampire.
I mean, he's great, and that was his contact that was within the police force.
That's awesome.
So he was giving away all this stuff, but this is awesome.
The
We watch this shit, and I can watch this all night.
Yep.
So
Great
so
series.
amazing.
great series.
Supernatural entities, man.
Oh.
Tell you, they're all over the place, man. And, if you're not investigating them, then sometimes they enter into your own body. They do indeed, man. Well, it happens, and sometimes the victims happen to be the innocent ones. Oh, they do indeed. My number 2, this is one hell of a classic, and that is no other than The Exorcist. Oh, yeah. The
With the additional footage.
It's the
Footage,
Digipack. This
yes.
is a great addition. I have the same one.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yes, it is.
Why
man.
this is not on 4K either, I don't understand.
Who the hell knows, man? Decisions. Who, if we only made them.
Yeah.
Now, I think if you're talking about some of the scariest movies of all time, The Exorcist has to be.
Yes.
Has to be on that list. If not top 5, easily top 10, even top 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it is, and this is one of the best exorcism movies of all time. In fact, it is pretty much the blueprint
Yes,
of
it is.
every other exorcism film
Yep.
that came
It
out.
started a
after
lot
it.
of shit
Sure.
as a game changer.
It truly did, man. And I only heard about some of this stuff, but the idea that people in the movie theaters
There's footage of it.
yes, were praying, they were passing out, they were puking, they were. I mean, they couldn't believe what they were watching on the screen.
The benches, they were passed out on the benches outside the movie theater.
Absolutely. Even my mother and father went out on one of their first dates to see The Exorcist at the drive-in.
Wow.
That must have been cool as hell.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I was born from 2 horror lovers, so I mean, come on. Now,
Awesome.
I mean, it absolutely is completely terrifying, and it's so realistic because this little girl, Regan, and the idea of how helpless she is. On one hand, it's this little girl, and she's so vulnerable, and you want to help her out, but at the same time, you see this demonic entity that is so twisted and evil, and it's just that conundrum of a little girl being twisted in that sinister way. I love it so much, and some of the very risky things in this movie, whether it's stabbing herself in the under area with the cross, some of the sexual references that are in the movie. I mean, some of the ridiculous stuff like the spinning of the head and spitting the pea soup up.
Good stuff.
It's great stuff, man.
Yeah.
It really honestly is, and I just love the psychological horror to it. I love the sort of messed up, more like just the horror of seeing somebody do things to their own body that should be physically impossible. And it's just really terrifying. And I remember watching it the first time, and I'm like, you know, I'm Jewish, but man, I'll go to confession in a fucking heartbeat, man, after this shit, okay? I mean, good lord, dude. It is really, really phenomenal. They did sequels, they did prequels, they even did a TV show, and, you know, some of the stuff is good, but it'll never reach the heights of this. And it really is phenomenal to this day. It still holds up to this day.
Yes, it does.
Not every horror movie can say that, and The Exorcist truly can, because it's just that damn good. It really, truly is, man. The Exorcist. Oh, yes. Number
It's a great addition.
2. Yes.
I was just going to add that the stairway where...
With the spider... Yeah.
Spider Walk?
No, at the end of the movie.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Is in Georgetown or somewhere near Georgetown, and it still exists. You can actually go and see it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
There's a little plaque on the wall, and it says this is where this particular scene from The Exorcist was filmed. Yep.
Awesome.
One day I may have to visit.
Yeah,
I might. Man,
Yes.
you're number 1.
Number one.
I cannot wait. What you have shown so far, my God, man.
Well, we've had giant ticks.
Yes.
We've had a giant tarantula.
Yes.
Okay. So it's only fitting
Wait.
that we have giant ants.
Oh, them!
Them.
Dun, dun, dun! Yes.
Just a phenomenal movie. In fact, the special effects were nominated for an Academy Award. They didn't win,
Okay.
but considering the movie was back in 1954, it's just amazing. Okay, they actually built ants to a giant scale, and you know, for back then, I think they worked beautifully. The movie itself starts out with this little girl walking in the desert with her doll, and she's in a catatonic state. And the police stop and pick her up, and they're trying to get her to talk as to what happened and everything, and nothing. They can't get her to say anything. The police go and find out that some of the locals that live in trailers and things like that have been attacked. Okay, and there are piles of this. I want to say a pheromone, but I don't know the exact term for it. But anyway, this little girl, what they do is they get a little vial, if you will, of the same type of pheromone that they have found at these different locations, and they just kind of put it under her nose, and she goes ballistic, calling out, "Them, them," and that's where the title comes from.
Okay.
A load of people in this movie.
Okay.
Okay. Our friend James Arness
James Arness, yes.
is in this one. He plays a military man.
Oh, great.
James Whitmore, who in himself was a very respected actor.
Okay.
Okay. He plays a professor.
All right.
Fess Parker, who was Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett
Oh my God.
in the Disney series.
Holy shit. Okay.
Which again goes way back, but the one that surprised me, and I did a double take on it. In fact, I rewound the movie to make sure it was him. Leonard Nimoy was actually in this movie.
Wow.
Where he plays.
Seriously?
He's in the military,
Okay.
and they show him like in this office situation.
All right.
I think his appearance only lasts like maybe 30 seconds. or
Oh,
something.
okay.
But still,
That's not long.
30 seconds, hey,
to see him in that was kind of surprised.
Okay.
So anyway, this movie's definitely connected with the atomic bomb testing
Yeah.
and the results of the radiation and what can happen. And I remember back in grade school, because of the Cold War, because of the possibility of a nuclear war,
Yeah.
we did the duck
Underneath the desk.
underneath the desk.
Okay.
Yep. So we
It's not going to do anything.
crawled. I know, but we didn't know that. I was in second grade at the time.
No, I know that. I never understood. I seen video of it. Like
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
the- Okay,
They
is
crawled
there a
underneath.
force field around
I don't know.
the desks?
Yeah.
I mean,
If a bomb goes off, you're liquefied.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's not going to matter.
So what the fuck? So.
But I do remember that taking place, and that was all a result of
under the
you know,
desk.
the atomic explosions and what they could cause.
Yeah.
So anyway, to make a long story short, these ants mutate into giant ants,
Okay.
and they make their way from, where do they start? Mojave Desert.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and the scientists come in, they find a nest.
Yes.
Okay, but the problem is there's no queen.
Ooh.
The queen has left
Okay.
and made her way to LA.
Okay.
And the section of LA, I think it's near the LA River, was where a lot of the, say the last third of the movie was filmed.
Okay.
It's still there.
Oh,
You can
okay.
actually, it's part of the, I don't want to say sewer system, but it's like 600-700 miles of tunnels.
Oh, all right.
And the ants make their way into there and begin laying eggs and building up quite a fortress.
Okay.
So the army is called in to go in and and to do their job. But people do get killed by the ants. They do kind of show it, with the mandibles.
There's a great scene, if I remember, where one of the ants has got like this rib cage in its mandibles.
Yes.
And it sort of and it rolls down, and there's a whole bunch of like skulls and everything like right there. So cool, actually, man.
Yep.
So great.
Because it was feeding on whatever food they could find, whether it be human or animals that live in the desert, or horses or cattle.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. They fed on it.
That's great.
And it just, during this time there were so many giant movies. I'm going to call them giant movies.
Well,
you had praying mantis, you had spiders, you had crabs, you had scorpions, you had a giant octopus, you had leeches. It just seemed to be part of this atomic age.
Yeah, that was going to say the atomic age.
Exactly.
And basically all the horror that came from that. Yes.
But I consider them, one of those in the series because of the special effects, extremely well done, and that is my number one. And don't forget, it's a B
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Thank Lord you told us. Thank the Lord.
Sounds like sarcasm to me.
Never.
Never. But from Van's number one, what about yours?
Okay, this movie is going to coincide with yours a little bit.
Okay.
Because this movie is a game changer, too.
Okay.
Yours just a game changer. This one started a lot of shit.
Okay.
This one frightened people.
All right.
Alrighty?
Okay. I'm curious now.
You better be.
Oh, I sure am.
This is a game changer. Jaws.
Oh,
definitely.
yes.
This scared the shit out of people of going into the water.
Yes.
I love that steel.
It did. And
look at that.
so basically this is easy. The shark was just on a rampage of killing anybody near Amity Beach.
Amity Beach?
Yep.
You had Roy Snyder, who was the chief of police.
Yeah.
His job was to kill it.
Yeah.
And they had the town. They had like a celebration coming up.
Some sort of anniversary.
And
big money maker.
And the mayor was an asshole.
Yeah,
flat out simple, and he wanted it to go on, but there was killings. Roy Snyder wanted to hire people to help him.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't do it by himself. Yeah. So he hired two people. He hired one. He was young, and it was Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss, yeah.
Yep, he was a scientist, and then they needed a boat. A bigger boat. They needed a boat, so they got Quint.
Quint, yes.
Yes.
Quint, and I forgot his name in real life. Robert? Is it Robert?
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw, yes.
So they wanted to get the shark, so they wanted to head out to the sea. And in the meantime, there was killings happening. So this shark was playing around with them, under the boat and all this stuff, and it was just an adventure where they think they have them and they don't. The shark was smart.
Yes.
So they had sequels 2, 3, 3D. 3 was in 3D.
4.
The 4.
They just kept making excuses to make.
They kept making excuses. So they wanted to, and
it was like Oracle.
The ending of the movie's fantastic. It's kind of sad. But
what I love about this movie,
shark looked great.
And the shark barely worked. And Steven Spielberg was so frustrated because the shark would barely work. He wanted it to work more, could barely get any kind of footage on it. But actually, that benefited the movie.
It did.
And I think it works.
Huge.
Not seeing it as much. I also love the POV shots of the shark in the water and seeing the people's feet and everything. I thought that was absolutely phenomenal. The music, John Williams' score, is amazing as well.
Yep, the music what makes it too.
Is what makes
without
it.
the music, the famous without that, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's great. And actually, true story, my mother tells me this, that it is one of the only times that my father ever jumped in a movie. because there's the scene in the water where I think it might have been Richard Dreyfuss' character going down and searching, and
Yes.
and the severed head
Yes.
Pops up.
Yep.
She said, "My father jumped like a motherfucker," and it's like one of the only times that he ever.
There's a lot to this movie that we have an hour to talk about it.
Yes, it's so good, man.
It's amazing,
and honestly, you know, no movie will ever beat Jaws.
No.
There's been so many copycats. There's been so many other ones that have tried, and they just can't succeed. No, don't even get me started.
Yeah, that's.
It's
Seth loves that movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what you told me.
Yeah, your fucking nightmare. And anyway,
talk to you in my nightmare.
So, yes, Jaws is amazing. Jaws is fantastic. Jaws is great. There is no doubt about it.
Oh,
that's what.
here we go.
You done?
Here we go. Numbnuts next.
Wow.
That's right. There's one
my
left.
God, there's one left.
What could it be?
There's one
Number
left.
one left.
New York Ripper?
No.
Hell no.
From one classic to the next, another
We'll
movie
see if it's a classic.
that redefined the genre, dare I say. And sometimes,
Dare I say.
when you're dealing with certain killers, you gotta make sure that you watch out.
There you go.
For the chainsaw. You know what I'm saying, John?
No.
I bet you do.
Oh, I know what it is.
When we talking about none other than Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh yes. Oh
It's okay.
man. The original. And it did it so damn well. Oh, indeed it did, man. Now, you know, this was what, like 1974. 1974.
Wow.
And it's interesting because Tobe Hooper makes this little movie in Texas, and he makes this flick, low budget, and barely anybody got paid. It was rough to shoot in, and frustrations, and nobody knew if this thing was actually going to be good or not, right? And actually, in certain cinemas, it got double billed with Enter the Dragon.
Really?
Yes, it did. It actually
That's a combination.
It got double billed with Enter the Dragon. How weird is that, man?
And Leatherface.
And
Wow.
Leatherface. Talk about the weirdest fucking combo, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
no shit.
And I think people entered into the movie not really knowing what to expect, and they left absolutely horrified.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
think it really made people think about, oh my God, the backwoods and the truck stops and the gas stations and
Don't pick up hitchhikers.
and the hitchhikers and the idea
Oh, yeah.
of when you go to the gas station, is that actual meat
Is it
or
actually
is
chili?
it something else?
Is that really meat chili on your hot dog you're buying?
I mean, it's so great, and Leatherface himself is so goddamn intimidating. The scene where the guy trips in the house, and then suddenly Leatherface is like right there, big, imposing.
Open
and
that door.
suddenly-
Yep.
And it literally just hits him, and so like,
Yeah, go into convulsions.
Yeah.
I'll hold you up, okay? I don't want you to fall.
I
I don't want you to fall.
And he just drags him in the door, and you're just like, what the fuck is that?
And there's silence right at the door, and it's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yes, and it's such a jarring thing, and people... Actually, what's really great about this movie also is the fact that people swear that when they watch this movie, they're like, oh my God, there's so much gore and blood in there, and there's barely any...
There's not that much.
There's not that much. It's barely
That's
there.
why it's fantastic,
Because people imagine more in their imagination than what's
Yes.
actually in the movie.
What's actually going on in the movie.
Yes.
That's the thing.
It's great. It's absolutely wonderful, and I love that the idea that they're not... I mean, maybe they're kind of playing it for a little bit of goofball, but the idea that this family has been surviving for this long because
massive
there's just the common everyday folk that just honestly don't really understand that these people are who they are, and they treat these people like more like objects than anything else. The idea that the sane one is actually Jim Seedow,
Yes.
who is the cook, and he's the one that can be at the gas station and present himself as being part of the everyday people. The hitchhiker, absolutely fucking nuts and crazy. Yeah. Want some edgies? I mean...
So that wasn't you?
No, pretty close.
Oh, okay.
but
it sounds just like him.
Thank you. It's so great because he's one of sort of like the hippie people.
Yep.
That back in the day you would just say like, oh, he's a
something.
child, whatever. And Leatherface that they just keep for,
Yeah, for cutting the...
Keeping the back, man.
Cutting the big cuts.
Keeping the back. It's so great, and it was so unexpected, and I think a lot of people were really shocked by this film at the time. And it's weird because Tobe Hooper has come out for a long time, and he said that he thought this movie was a comedy.
I don't know where it was
He never really ever thought of it as a horror film. He thought of it as a comedy, and so
I didn't think it was funny, but
I mean, he thought of it as that's why when he made Texas Chainsaw 2, he put it way more into the comedic realm, because he felt that people didn't really get the humor in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I didn't either because I thought it was really horrific. Man. Yeah, but I love the idea of Sally and going absolutely madcap insane.
Yep.
The idea of being at that dinner and like all of the corpses and all the
dinner that was.
All the type of like dressing within the house with the bones and the skulls, and the idea that it was based off of Ed Gein.
Yes.
Yep.
It's really raw and really brutal, and I really love it, and it is one of those sort of realistic films that, there could be a weird fucking family, man. I mean, I will just say this much. There was one time that my mother and I were driving back from taking my grandmother to North Carolina, and it was just the two of us. We were driving back, and we were in sort of like one of the southern states, and we had to get gas. We were low on gas.
Oh, shit.
We go to this gas station, and they don't like Northerners. They just don't. And so, we're lost. We don't know where we're going. We don't know where the highway is again. And so this guy says to us, look, I will take you to the highway. Just follow me. And we're like, well, we have no other choice. This was way before cell phones. This was like MapQuest trying to figure that shit out.
This is a horror show.
And what ended up happening was that we left with the guy because we had to go.
Mm-hmm.
The gas station never gave us any gas, even though we paid for the gas. They never gave us any gas, and we're low on gas. And my mother's like, we just got to follow this guy. And so for like 30 to 45 minutes, we're following this guy to get back to the highway, and we're going through farmland. We're going through desolate areas, dark, pitch black. And my mother and I look at each other, and we're like, "Whoa, this is like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre."
Jesus.
We're gonna.
That's not what I was gonna think of.
Pulled over and get killed. We're kind of half joking but half serious at the same time because we're like, "Oh my God, like where the fuck is this guy taking us?" Thankfully, he was actually taking us to the highway, and we actually got safely. But for a long stretch of time, you don't know, and so movies like this, in some ways, they're cautionary tales. Yeah. I mean, in true story, they are. It seems ridiculous to think of that, but it really is the truth, man. I love the way this is executed. I love the acting. It's gritty. It's raw. It's really fantastic. This is a true definition of a classic horror flick that has stood the test of time. It truly, honestly has, man. Leatherface, depending on the iteration, will never die.
That's right.
They've reinvented Leatherface many times, but the original is still king. Oh, indeed it is, man. You know it to be true, goddammit.
He's been waiting for this all night.
You really do. Because horror never dies. Alright, everybody, I suppose that's it for the Halloween horror movie playlist, part 4. I gotta admit, man, we had some really great picks, but I think I still beat out the competition. I think I did. I mean, come on. That's just how I roll. I'm just that damn good. Anyways, these guys recognize my talent, but it's just natural. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys end up finding some really great horror movies out there, enjoying horror movie season. Hopefully, we end up inspiring you to watch some creepy picks indeed. Hopefully, we did. Have a wonderful Halloween season. Scary movies and chill. Sounds good to me, man. As far as what we're gonna do, well, honestly, I'm trying to figure that out myself. Guys, why the hell did you actually tie me up? And what the fuck here, man?
Man, you ever wonder what a real lobotomy looks like?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Ooh.
These guys, oh, they're hilarious. Oh my god, man, you're funny. You guys seriously are. You're fucking hilarious.
Try.
Oh,
Okay.
dude, let me tell you something. That's why I hang out with these guys. I mean, that and honestly, they make me look good. But indeed, they do. But you guys would never do anything like that. Lobotomy. Get the hell out of here. I'm too likable to lobotomize, right? Right?
You know,
Likable.
he just doesn't know when to shut up.
What do you mean? Come on, man. I mean,